That's Sean.
Is it okay if we just listen to that song for the next little while, dude? Just
Dude, I
jamming
love the
out.
Pixies,
It's
man.
such a good song. I know we said it last time when we started, but that's just good. What made you pick it? Like you could have picked a trillion songs. We
I have no
obviously
idea.
changed it.
I was listening to it in the car, and I was thinking it was right around the same time I was thinking of doing that spinning record idea
Oh yeah,
with the Sweet Hangs, and I was like, it needs a good song if you're gonna like have like a
yeah.
musical like look. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just listening to it, and I was like, I think this would be good. And I had
It's so good.
in my mind, I had
I
the
hate to add
vision
it.
changing it every month.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm just lazy.
No, don't change it. Actually, that's a good idea. It's a good idea, and it'd be funny to have like a musical sort of like background to us because we're not putting this on anything. I
Right.
guess it hangs on your YouTube, I suppose, but
Yeah, but it's not public,
right, like we could have a soundtrack just playing
and
in
I'm
the
not
background,
monetized anyway.
right? That's
So
what
who
I always wondered.
cares?
That I hear like people. I gotta add this to my phone before I forget because I do
Yeah,
this
take
every
your
single
time.
time.
I'm gonna get. Hey, look, check this out. I'm gonna get something
What
to
have you?
drink, Sean.
Look at you! Oh snap,
from
dude! I gotta
Sure.
get this fridge. What do you got in there?
I've got ginger beer, tonic water, lime juice. Soda.
Okay. And just regular size cans. You're not doing any sort of like king cans.
I've got mini cans and regular size.
Oh, mini cans.
Yeah, like these are they're like what I call like mixers.
Oh
These
yeah.
are perfect to like mix a drink with. It's
Okay,
basically just a fridge for me to hold all the things I want to put in my rum.
Well, so the rumors are that it's like a jet engine. It sounds like a PS4.
It is loud. Yeah.
Damn it, really?
Yeah, no, I mean it doesn't sound like a PS4, but it's loud.
Yeah. I mean, it's an electronic. The thing is, like, when was the last time like the power? I feel like this happened to you recently. Like the power went out,
Mm-hmm.
and like you realize like how much noise, just regular, like just white noise,
Oh
like
yeah.
just things in your house make, and then
Mhm.
when everything shuts off, you're like, oh damn, like this
Yep.
is kind of scary.
When the wires start burning, you miss that sizzle.
I don't miss
Sloth's
I don't think the
here.
wire's supposed to sizzle.
Tony Baker's here. Well, just like
Look at
electricity
this. Hey,
gives
guys.
off like a buzz.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah. That's no good. It's loud. Like it probably. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I could really use a. I have a little bar fridge on the other side, like by Chelsea's computer over there. But man, you're like you've rolled right to that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. It's
was
not
always
too
gonna buy
distracting
it.
or anything.
I was always going to buy it and set it right there.
Yeah, it's a perfect spot for it.
I normally, can you hear it?
I don't think so.
Because I didn't turn it off. I normally turn it off before I record, but I didn't this time.
I don't think so.
You would take it out in Audacity anyway. Like it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think
Yeah.
I can. I don't think I can hear
It's
it.
ran by a fan, so you can always hear the fan running.
Right.
And it has froze up on me already.
It has
You just
frozen.
Run it. Yeah. If you just run it endlessly, it'll kind of freeze up a little, and you gotta let it thaw out.
It's the cheapest fridge. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, that price is so great!" And it never occurred to us that like maybe it's not very good.
Oh, Kevin sent me one that's like he's got one that's twice as big.
Yeah.
And has like this blue light and glass door, and it's like $90.
Oh wow.
And I was like, yeah, but it's not as cool, though, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, anybody can get just a regular fridge.
Yeah, like anybody can get.
I've got that. I got it from
like,
Costco, for God's
Right.
sakes.
but it's not as it's not an Xbox
Although
because this is cool. It glows green. You can turn the
That's
Xbox
pretty
light
awesome.
on and off. Like it's cool.
what is stopping us? So like we've got 3D printers in this house. Chelsea's got her Cricut. She's got like vinyl and stuff. We don't have that fridge in Canada, Ryan Turford. I haven't got it yet. But I mean, I could turn my bar fridge here.
I'm surprised they
into
didn't
that.
just send you one. To be honest with you,
I don't get everything.
Hmm.
I do get quite. I got a Jenga set.
You got
that was
you got
pretty sweet.
jackets. You got shoes. Like why not the fridge?
That jacket is unreal, man. That
It's
jacket
really
is
nice.
so nice. It's way too nice, man.
It's really nice.
I just feel like one of these days they're gonna like wake up or they're gonna have some sort of like actual check. And they're like, wait a minute, how many people listen to this shit? Like that's what are we doing? Like we gotta find somebody else, man.
No, the Xbox Drive is
You guys were crushing us, man.
spotlight
You guys
in the
were crushing us.
Xbox community.
You guys were all over it, man. You left the Empire, man. Now that
Ditched
we're a
it.
month away from it, now I just got to shit all over you for it. Like, what were you
Ditched
thinking? It was the best show. That was a.
I like to
Donnie.
think we've made a better show.
I love the X. Well, I don't want to poop on the the PlayStation or the
Go ahead.
the
Let us have it.
PSVG. No, I want to
Let's
sing
do
some
it.
regret in you. This is not about a this or that.
I honestly have no regrets.
This is not about a this or that thing. This is just I
no
love
regrets.
you and Elaine just by yourself
I
talking
have
Xbox.
been so relieved
Good.
since making the changes. I have absolutely zero regrets.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's
actually
perfect.
I think it was much needed after so many years. Like it needed to happen. So
yeah, I don't know how you, because again, like you did it all. You did the notes, you did the publishing, like all the stuff. That's too much. Like people will say, like, you know, how are we doing this now? It's like we don't do anything. Like Ryan does the hard work.
Ryan does all the work.
He does all the work. We show up. You send me a link. You did the song. I've done actually like so little on this. I didn't even do the logo. Like I did nothing, man. I turned off my bathroom fan for this. That's
It's
it.
nice because this past week on PSVG, Devin didn't show up. And in Devin's absence, I am the editor.
Yeah.
So this was the first week in 2 months
Yeah.
that I edited and posted a show.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, it felt like forever.
Oh,
It's like,
no doubt.
This takes so long.
Oh, I know. And like, I'm not very good at like multitasking. Like the only way to make that like okay is like to do, like, let it do its thing while you're doing something else. And quite often when things are like kind of process oriented like that, like I'll forget where I was. Like, what did I do last? Did I do this like noise reduction?
I just remember
thing already?
like how many fields you have to fill out on Squarespace to like
seriously.
everything. I was just like, this is too much.
Squarespace is like producer Ryan, I think, is in the chat. We're gonna have to look at that, man. I don't know. I don't want to move ever again. I migrated the Xbox Drive after Empire closed its books, and it couldn't have been better. Still hearing Donnie Elaine shoot the shit, and huge Xbox fans go at it, dude. No doubt.
Yeah. See, what you need is place of video games and the Xbox Drive, and
that's always been the case, though.
You've got all bases covered.
I always liked the sort of tit for tat kind of. I don't know. It was like a left. It was such a good combo. You didn't need anything else. I feel like they were good, like they're complementary podcasts.
Sure.
You know,
no,
I feel like ours were bite sized.
They weren't the same.
Definitely not.
Yeah, they were not the same. There was so many weeks where we weren't even talking about the same stuff. What
That's
was important to the
interesting.
Xbox Drive was not important to the Xbox Empire.
Well, and that's the case for, I think, for the Nintendo Drive as well. It's actually like a hyper kind of version of that with the Nintendo Drive. Like we will take like 1 to 2 topics because like Kato and I are just like, don't care. Yeah. Like we would say it to say the news, to like almost serve like this. You should know that this is a thing, but we wouldn't have anything to say about most of these things, you know. But that's where this can come in too. Like you don't do Shaq. I don't do most of the news.
I was going to do
Drive.
Shaq this last week, but I've been sick.
Yeah, how you
like
feeling?
Wednesday. Feel better today.
Yeah,
my throat's still sore, but
I woke up
obviously
with a sore throat.
I feel clear.
Yeah.
I'm not as like drainy, nasally. I'm not as congested. I'm not.
Yeah,
I've been coughing and hacking stuff up for days.
Yeah.
I just
Well, get it over with now. Get it over with.
Although it's Thanksgiving.
I
didn't even have Thanksgiving. I was at home alone on Thanksgiving.
You couldn't have asked for it better though. Let's be honest. That's what you draw up.
I mean, I didn't mind it, but I was really looking forward to going to Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And food. Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Dude, I had like pizza.
We're gonna get pizza later on tonight. Actually, we just
like,
did our
wasn't
tree.
Fun on Thanksgiving. I was like, oh.
And as soon as they said the words, I'm like, wait a minute, this is the holidays for you guys. Like, we don't really think, and that's why I was on Nintendo Dads earlier or last week or whatever, and I was on with Tony
Canadian
Baker and Justin Masson.
Right?
We had their takeover, and yeah, everybody. It reminds me of my dad, who's just like diehard, just Canadian, just like will defend. If it's Canadian, it's amazing, and it's like not necessarily. Like let's be real. I don't think October Thanksgiving makes any sense at all. Like I really I want your guys' Thanksgiving. I think it's amazing. I want the holidays. I love the it's an extra let's get together because I like my brother's coming up from Vancouver, and I'm really looking forward to it. And if there was another one of those kind of excuses, or if you could do Thanksgiving instead of Christmas, maybe it doesn't always work out.
Sure.
It's kind of nice. I don't know.
Yeah, the idea of doing Thanksgiving and then when we do Halloween just sounds weird.
It's just weird. It passes by like whatever.
And I know people that love Thanksgiving, they hate it because Christmas drowns it out, but Thanksgiving is a really great way to kick off the Christmas season.
Dude, and if you actually, participate in the gratitude part of it, I can imagine it'd be it's actually probably really important.
Yeah.
Because Christmas is so gifts and all these things, take a moment to just take that pause. Cause man, Chelsea and I were we didn't really say it to each other, but we both kind of made comments earlier today that this is seeming like it's lining up to be the best Christmas ever. Like it feels fun again. It hasn't felt
Thanks.
fun over the last couple of years, actually.
Wow.
I feel like I've been like struggling with stuff especially over Christmas, and for whatever reason, like this year I feel okay.
Feel
like
better.
knock on wood, I feel I've been working on it a lot.
This is gonna be a weird Christmas for us because my wife and son are going to Louisiana because they're having a big family Christmas,
Yeah.
and I can't go
Yeah.
because of work stuff. So me and my daughter are staying home. My wife has a trip of a planned flight back on Christmas Eve to make it back.
Oh
in time,
wow.
but we all know how that goes. Like I'm almost going in
Oh.
expecting it to be delayed and her not.
Yeah.
making it,
Yeah.
because it's Christmas. Like, what do you?
That
you
sounds so stressful, dude. Like
So
a
it's
flight
good-
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's
God.
super weird because I'm doing all this crazy stuff at work where I have to transition. I'm basically like being rehired,
Yeah.
and then like her whole family, because of her grandparents are so old that
Yeah.
they wanted to have like one big family thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have
How
a
do you
lot
say
of
no to
stuff
that?
going on. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a huge just plates and like irons and all fires like everywhere. It's going
Mhm.
to be a chaotic Christmas.
Well, good thing you got rid of all those podcasts. You can actually spend a
Very-
little time thinking about that kind of stuff.
Very much so. I would not
Yeah.
have been able to. Yeah, and like we do our Christmas break at
Mhm.
PSVG.
Yeah.
So it'll be a big help for me, not even having to worry about it.
Not
So,
even recording it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just lining up. I've got a week in December where I'm going to record a few We the Gamer casts, and just like that'll be it. And
Nice.
then we still have to sort out like how we're doing our game of the year kind of stuff. But I saw Badbit doing his, man. Badbit's like got it down. He's got
Yeah.
his, like they did all their categories and everything, and they're like tagging all the people who made the games and getting all these extra eyes on it. It's like it's pretty smart actually. A little
Nice.
jealous. Yeah, a little jealous. I didn't think of it. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
I like it a lot. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's pretty good. What are you doing? Are you streaming? I might like
No,
I'm kinda
the
like
answer's
just-
always no to that question.
never. You don't ever like live stream like the Game Awards or anything? You never watch
No.
like you just
Not the Game Awards. I don't think we've ever done the Game Awards.
just
I
E3
normally
kinda
don't
thing.
even really watch.
Yeah.
Are we gonna fix the Game Awards?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I never really watch. What I usually do is I usually play something, and then I
Mhm.
just like have it up on my Chromebook next to me, like Twitter.
Yeah.
And just see the announcements, and I'll pause and like see trailers and stuff like that because
Mhm.
I really don't care who wins. So
Yeah. I mostly just like it was kind of like with Halo last night, like I put up the stream, but it's like as far as the stream goes, it's an absolute mess. Like there's 40 people in the Discord chat and like there's all talking at once. And I just kind of go like,
Oh,
okay, well,
that's-
really
yeah,
this is just a call, a beacon to go like everybody come like here to play.
Sure.
Like whether or not
Yeah.
people are watching, like that's kind of neither here nor there. And that's sort of how I feel about like the Game Awards too, is like let's just create a space for like if you want to get on chat with people and let's
Yeah,
suit
something like
stream in the
something
hallway.
like that I would be into. Like like we hang out and chat while we play games. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
a bunch, but often.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that I would be into, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
do it if there's 40 people in there. Like
We should do that after this, man.
If we
What are you doing
talk,
tonight? Well, yeah, and especially like for not a stream, you
Right.
can kind of get away with some stuff that like
Yeah.
otherwise you always, it depends on who you're doing that sort of thing with. Like
Yeah.
Bobby and I used to chat about that kind of stuff all the time, and I feel like even every year it's different. But yeah, like some people want you to talk over it because like they're not as
Yes.
interested, and some people don't want you to do it. So like,
And
how
that's
do you,
the thing that I think we've always ran into when we do those shows. Is we'll have
Mhm.
a lot of our folks be like, "I'm trying to watch the show."
right,
You know?
right.
So-
and we're just hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I enjoy hanging out while we're playing games, not playing together. I think that's
Yeah.
the thing. I've had this moment with you, with Dev, with Jason. Like
Mhm.
I enjoy just hanging out and just shooting the shit. Like you're playing
Yeah.
something, I'm playing something, but it doesn't mean like we can't have fun and talk.
Yeah, I'm
know, it's good
a bad
stuff.
multitasker with that some of that stuff too, though. Are you still? What do you got on the go right now? I know I listen to all your shows. What do you got on the go? I've created an on the go playlist in my Xbox because that's how like I'm so confused with everything that's going on. I've actually had
Gotcha.
to like say like these are like 5 games and I'm like
I'm
I
doing
could
really
choose.
good. I've cleared Far
Ooh.
Cry, completely done.
You cleared it.
It's done. I'm done
Define
with Far Cry.
clear.
I mean, I've beaten the story in most all of my missions. Like
Yeah.
I've done like all of the airports. I've unlocked
Mhm.
all the weapons. I've done all the posts, and I've done all the story missions.
Honestly, at a certain point, I thought that there was no end to it. I thought that there was just like you'd go up to somebody like, "I got another checkpoint for you to check
There is
out."
an end game. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
wow.
still keep playing after the story's over.
Oh,
And
of
then
course, of
obviously, like, I'm
course.
not gonna get rid of it because the DLC. Very excited to play
I
all the
know.
DLC too. Not the rogue stuff. I'm not doing that. But like the stuff with Danny Trejo and the
Mhm.
Stranger Things stuff. Like, yeah, I'm
The
all in
single
for that
mission with
stuff.
Danny. It's so. I'm just so. I need you to just set your expectations just a little lower, and even if they
Nah,
are low, just like just draw. It's just.
dude, I'm gonna kill so many people with machete.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. It's all I've ever wanted for
I
a
don't
video
want to
game.
ruin anything. I want to talk
Actually,
about it so bad.
the next Far Cry game should just be called Far Cry Machete starring Danny Trejo. You just get
Dude,
to be Danny Trejo and you just kill people.
this is how they would do that sort of thing. Dude, that's how
Dude.
Machete came. That's how it became a thing, anyways. It was a
Far
joke.
Cry, John Wick.
Oh
Like
my
just keep
gosh!
doing that.
Yes.
Like I would love it. So
Yeah. Just license it.
I've done that. I'm playing Pokemon and I'm loving Pokemon.
Is there an
but
input lag on Pokemon? Is it just me?
I've not
It's
noticed any.
man. Oh, I don't know what's going on with me then.
Interesting. Yeah, I've not noticed any input lag on my end.
Okay. So one thing, it was funny. I was watching Jace was playing Pokemon.
Blood Dragon.
Oh, I
Completely
gotta
forgot
be
about
playing
a TPR.
remaster. That'd be perfect.
It's not a remaster, right? It's a port.
It's got to be some sort of like upscale of some.
Is
I
it
don't know.
upres?
I think so.
I have not seen them like talk about any upgrades. I
TPR, I'm
thought
sure will
that's why
fill
they
us
were
in.
calling it Classic Edition. I thought it was literally.
Oh, he
like,
said, "Oh,
just-
it's a port." Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited for it. I'll try it.
So Jace was playing Pokemon on stream, and his stream looked better than my live version of the game. Like mine looked fuzzy
Really?
or something, and I was like, "What the heck is
What the hell's
this?"
going on with your game?
So, well, it turned out to be my TV. I had some sort of, I can't remember exactly what setting it was, but I flipped it. And I don't know if that's what did it that is now causing this delay. I've got game mode on and everything like that. And I don't know exactly what I did, but now I've got like this crazy delay that I don't have on anything else. I play Xbox on the same TV unless there's something that's specific to the input.
hate
I got to
even
check it out
ask,
again, man.
Does it support save cloud saves?
I think so.
Because I think you need to uninstall it and reinstall it.
Well, I even like took it off what I got to do is just take it off the dock and just play it like handheld is actually what I need to do.
I was playing it dock today. Oh man, I was saving this for PSVG this week, but I had a blast today. I was playing it with Jack, and I will say I've got my 5th badge, and I'm starting to just skip through some of the text. I'm just like,
for sure.
So I'm not done with it. I don't want to give off that impression. It's just that I'm not like playing hours of it anymore. It's kind of like Forza. Like I'm kind of playing it in little doses because I've done a lot of
Forza. Where did that go, dude?
Jack comes downstairs. We can talk about it if you want. I saw an interesting
No, we'll
article.
go. We'll get there.
Jack comes downstairs. I'm like, hey, you play. Now, I have a large, like a known bias towards Pokemon. Like I like the Pokemon that I grew up with.
A positive bias.
Could care less about the new Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I usually make fun of them all. So Jack's playing. I'm sitting there with my cat and my drink, just like backseat driving. Jack's playing my Pokemon, just making fun of everything that it's coming through, just hating, just a hater's ball on Pokemon. And I have nicknamed all my Pokemon. So I've got Rhyhorn that I'm trying to evolve into Rhydon. I've named him the Horn. I've got Psyduck. I've named him the Duck.
Yeah.
I've got Scyther, which I've nicknamed Slice Bread.
Okay.
I've got my I started with Pinplup. So I'm trying to get Emporion, I think is what it's called or whatever. Anyway, I've named him Super Penguin. And and then I got another dude that I named the Dude. And so Jack's battling and I'm like, send in the Horn. We're gonna crush these fools. Send in the Horn now. Like, oh, you gotta switch him out. It's time for the Dude. Let's bring in the Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, and I'm just it was the most fun I've had playing Pokemon in years.
Just yelling at your kid.
I was like, I think I'm just gonna play Pokemon like this now. I'm just gonna let him.
You're like a trainer
while I make fun of it.
Yeah, it's actually very meta.
I'm like, who the hell is this loser that just showed up on screen? We're gonna kick his ass. Send in the Duck.
It does teach my kids some of those language, like those like we don't want my kids like calling other kids names, and they're like, look at this loser, like who's this chump? Like all this
Jack
stuff.
makes me feel like I've never understood Pokemon. I'm sitting there with my team, and my team is awesome. I've got Scyther, I've got Pinsir, I've got Psyduck, like great Pokemon, right? he comes in and he's like, yeah, but is it physical base or is it special attack base? Like, what's its stats? Let me see its stats. And I'm like, you're such a nerd. Like, why do you know all of this? Who cares?
It's there to know. It's there for them to remember.
Oh god, he knows everything. He's like, you need to change this and get that move so you can min max. I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't even know.
You don't even need to do it in this game though. Like, it's
I've never
easy.
understood. Like, I get that that's a thing for. I understand that that's how a lot of people see Pokemon. I don't know. I'm just I'm a commoner.
It seems kind of wasted on that.
You know, I'm like so dumb. I'm not learning.
Oh yeah,
that. Like, dude, you know, like here I am.
I picked a move that's just super effective. Exactly. Yeah. Use the water to put out the fire. I'm good.
Right. Jesus, I'm so basic.
Yeah, it's time for a grass fire. Let's get this going.
Oh
my
fun.
gosh,
it was fun, man. We were having.
Well, I've got one badge. I've thrown honey on a tree and kind of thought that was neat because I didn't know how long he wanted me to wait. So I for a while there.
Get to the third badge.
Yeah,
they've got a Lucario. Dude's a beast, man. He beats the hell out of folks. You better come prepared.
Is that his first appearance? Is this because I don't know any of these? I haven't played a Pokemon game before. Really.
I have no idea, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're asking me the wrong questions.
I don't know.
I wouldn't care.
I feel like everybody else knows all the things
that's
about
the
Pokemon.
thing with me when it comes to Pokemon. I like my Pokemon, and there's like 13 of them.
Sure, that's
like 13 Pokemon that I like, and I play with them every game.
Yeah, well, think about if you physically had them. That's a lot.
Pokemon fans are like, isn't that boring? It's like, no, these are the dudes. Like, these are cool Pokemon. Like,
yeah,
you know,
no,
like
I'm
who
with
wants? You. Yeah, like who wants these losers? Like, no.
We should do that thing with Pokemon with like a big poster with all whatever 900 of them. Whatever Lucario's first appearance is in Diamond and Pearl. You're right. Look at that. Thank you, TPR. I knew I was onto something because it seemed like a special deal. I want one of those posters, like the JPEGs everybody shares after like a Nintendo Direct or something, and you circle them. Like, I'm gonna get this game. I'm not gonna get this game. I want to do that with all the Pokemon, and you'll see how many red X's you got all over them. Because I bet there's a lot of crappy Pokemon.
That'd be way too many for me.
You know how long that would take you?
Because it would. It would take me really easy to just circle the ones I like, but it would be way too. Yeah, because there's like 1,000 Pokemon, and I legit like only like 25 tops.
That's what I'm wondering. How many do I actually like? Yeah,
tops like 25 or 30, maybe.
Yeah. Even out of the first. Oh man, there's so much here.
And I have such a type. I'm such a fighting game homer. Because that's the thing. The Pokemon game that I've always wanted is I've always wanted to have a game where you create and defend your own gym.
Oh yeah,
against Pokemon trainers that come, right, and they tell you a story that way, and then like maybe you get, selected to be on the, the Final Four or whatever. Like that would be cool. Like flip it from the other angle. And I've always wanted to create like a fighting gym.
Is that, I don't know enough about Pokemon Go, but is that an element of like professionally played Pokemon Go? Like,
I don't know.
Is that sort of I don't know. Got to get outside, honey.
But no, I mean it's like a Cubone, Machamp. Rhydon, Poliwrath, like dudes that hit folks. And then it's also like, but then I also like just like blurb Pokemons like Snorlax and Psyduck, like just doofuses. Like they're the best.
What do you call them? Blurb Pokemons?
Just blah. Just dudes that hang out,
we should create new categories for them. Not fire type or whatever, ghost types, whatever. Sleepy. I don't know. I want new types. I want new categories.
I'm having a blast do everything with it, our way. It's a really good game. So I'm playing that. And I'm playing Far Cry, and I'm playing some F1. And I dipped into the Rocky game for a little. I bought a lot of Black Flag
stuff. I heard that one's really good.
I don't like it as much.
Oh no,
it's okay. It's a button masher, but it's I'm glad I didn't buy it at full price. I would have been upset.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
I got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on Switch, and it's pretty excellent.
Which one didn't you do like a review with Ryan? Yeah. Was it that game?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you had to buy it. Oh, did you? Why do you have to buy it again?
Oh, it was on Switch. They ported it to Switch.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Man, you do that a lot.
I played it on an Xbox. It was on Switch. It was a Black Friday deal. I got it for $20. And it's an excellent port on Switch. Like, it's so funny because I think for a lot of times when you port these games, you'll hear people go, for a Switch game, right? To put in contents. Like, it actually holds up just like side by side. It's pretty much the same thing. Obviously it's not in 4K, but like if I was to take pictures of it running on Xbox and a picture of it on Switch and just show it to you, you really wouldn't tell a difference.
Dude, I thought I was done with these sales. Like, how much is
don't like don't get it. Like you're not. I don't think you're that into it, right? You're not that into Dragon Ball, are you?
I feel like that game actually would be what I would want out of a Dragon Ball game. Like
It's
it doesn't
super
just like
fun,
retell
man.
like the
Yes, you go through the entire story and like you catch the
like
highlights
Raditz
of the
and
story. Yes,
like starting
and
with
it's open
man.
world. You get
Yeah.
to run around, and in the open world, they have like secrets that you can find, and they've got like energy that you can collect to help like level up. And then you have fights, and the fights feel like Dragon Ball Z fights. You can fly around, you have free roam, you can do Kai blasts, like you can dodge, like it does that teleport thing where if somebody like tries to hit you, you can teleport behind them and like kick them in the back, smash them into earth and stuff.
I'm gonna put it in my cart because we're gonna play a game. We're gonna see how many games you talk about today and convince me to at least get in the cart. Let's just see. We're adding it to Sean's backlog. Dude, my backlog got like just piled on this weekend.
Black Friday's the time to do it.
Oh, dude, it's not good.
I've always compared it. It's like a Warriors game to me. Like you fight, you do like the button masher fight thing, you get a little cutscene, and then you do the button masher fight thing, and you get a little cutscene.
Speaking of, I was gonna get Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, but you popped up a little like Donnie Devil showed up like, don't do it, like don't get it. I downloaded the demo to satisfy.
I don't want anybody to be like Donnie doesn't like Zelda because I love Zelda.
No, but that game doesn't run very well.
So much better than Age of Calamity.
So this one looks like on the Xbox store, it's $53 off. It's like 20. No, $53 off. So it's and that's so you did exactly what I did. I saw the 53.60 or whatever, and I'm like, oh god, no. And then it's like, no, it's $26 to buy.
That's not bad.
Down from 80. Down from 80.
If you get into it like that, I think people might find there's a little bit more fun to have with that game than I think people think. So my plan, Sean, is to do the Dark Pictures game and then Halo. That's my plan for the next week or so.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
very very holiday themed.
I'm pretty much clear. And then I'm thinking after Halo, I'll try the Guardians game.
Same. I meant to have Guardians kind of like at least started and in a good way for the Xbox Drive this weekend. It's probably not going to happen unless I do it tonight, but I kind of want to play Pokemon tonight. And as I look at my cart, I've just added Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but I've got Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3 in here for some strange reason, and Wheel of Fortune plus Jeopardy for $18 for that
the
bundle.
Sales. I got the Ultimate Street Fighter on Switch on sale.
Oh yeah,
Street Fighter 2.
Yep.
It's so damn good.
Is it good? I got the 30th. I got the collection on Xbox.
I was like, how am I loving Street Fighter?
Street Fighter. Oh, it's so good. Oh,
so it's not the collection.
No, I know. There's two.
Okay.
There's two different ones. Yeah.
HD remaster, whatever. I think it's called Ultra Street Fighter 2.
Well, it doesn't have like Evil Ryu and Evil or that's yeah.
Mm-hmm. The graphics look so good. Like it looks so nice and it's so pretty. And on OLED, I was playing with Jack, and I was like, "How am I digging Street Fighter 2 again? Like, how is this possible?"
It's so good, dude. I'm
having a blast. We picked it up. I think it was $18.
Yeah,
on the
I
Black
think so.
Friday sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I did the same thing on Nintendo Dads. Like, and I really thought that I was done because I've scrolled through these sales over and over and over again. But the thing is with Xbox, like I actually can do like a cart here. So that's good. With Nintendo, what I did was I just bought like dollars, right? Instead of like adding each and every time, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to spend, I think it was $100, how many games can I get for this? And that did not take me very far. It did not take long to burn through that. And then I also went to like Best Buy.
$48.
Exactly. Well, and that's just it. Like it was
Yoshi's Crafted World, $48.
Mario Sonic at the Olympics, and there was one other. Xenoblade 2. Picked up that one, which wasn't like a crazy sale. Like this is just it. Like once I when the discipline goes away, it is gone. And this is me for everything, whether it's buying on like Black Friday sales or eating.
It's fun to buy games. I don't like it when people.
I know.
Like,
you're the right person. You're the right person.
It's fun to buy games.
You
feel good about it. It's fun to support developers you like. It's fun to support franchises you like.
Yeah,
it's Black Friday. If you're saving a buck, like, get it. Get after it.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
I feel better now. Okay, that's good. Yeah,
dude. There's no backlog in me. I don't care.
It's just
I'll quit
there.
playing a game like that. If I'm just playing, I'm like, I don't like this right now. I'll just go play something else.
What was it? Was it because there was one other time of the year that I was like this, and you were kind of like encouraging me to do it too. And it was just like, it was getting out of hand. I was even like on I busted out my Vita and I'm like, what can I buy over here? You know,
Yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely an enabler like that. You don't want if you're
Mhm.
looking for somebody to fiscally save your wallet. I'm not the guy for you.
I do all year though, like I really, well, maybe this year is a bit of an exception because I bought everything Nintendo said that they were gonna sell to me.
Mm-hmm.
NSO plus expansion, bought it. Wario, bought it.
No, I
Mario
didn't get
Party,
Wario
got
either.
it.
I'm glad I didn't get Wario either. It seemed like people after they got it, seems like they bounced on that one real fast.
It's a point in time in my life more than anything, and probably Pokemon as well. But like, because I don't talk about it on any of the shows, so it probably appears that way for me that I buy these games and kind of bounce off them. But they've been mainstays in the house. The kids will often ask for like, let's play Wario.
Yeah, we did Mario
where
Party over
Mhm.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing. I have like these grand illusions in my head that like, oh, people are gonna come over. We're gonna play like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. We're gonna
Yeah,
play
that's
all
how
these things.
Nintendo
I'm
will
like,
get you.
oh, definitely. Like we don't play anything. I can't get anybody
That's
to
why-
play anything. We just
That's how I ended up with those Mario Kart Live cars.
oh
Just
yeah,
sit over here. They're nice ornaments though. They're good desk
Mhm.
ornaments, but
yeah.
we played that for like a week and we never played it again.
Oh, that's it, huh? I'm very mindful of like things just taking up space. It's so like ridiculous, but actually, what's one of the items on my Christmas list? Because Chelsea's like, I was struggling to come up with my wish list. She's like, what would you buy? Like, if you could just go to like anywhere right now, like, what do you need? I'm like, this is super lame, but I need like another one of these shelves, like
Yeah.
just a single column thing.
Yeah.
Like that's what's on my
Yeah,
what's on my list.
that's
I
good
need
stuff,
a place
man.
to put things. Yeah.
Yeah. You need shelves.
I need shelves. Yeah, it's like I guess that's where I'm at. I've got
Mhm.
tools. I've got all the things. I've got what I need, and I don't want I can't remember if I talked to you about this. Like I don't want people to buy me games anymore. Nobody's gonna find a better deal on games than me. I will
Right.
know the perfect, precise moment to
There's
buy
a-
games. Nobody else can do it.
There's a TikTok. It's from Parks and Rec of Ron Swanson walking around a Home Depot,
Oh yeah.
and this Home Depot employee walks up to him and he goes, "Can I help you?" And Ron Swanson goes, "I know more about this than you." And I showed that
Exactly.
TikTok to my wife. I was like, "This is me at GameStop."
Mhm.
But I know exactly what you feel. My
Mhm.
wish list that I send to my friends and family that ask me for gifts are all gift cards, just digital
Yeah.
credit gift cards. It's not
Yeah.
all gift cards because
Mhm.
honestly I hate giving gift cards or cash to
Mhm.
people. So I've got a lot of presents, but when it comes to actual games, it's just gift cards. Like I just
Yeah.
ask for Game Pass.
Mhm.
Like here's Game Pass, just buy me Game Pass.
Yep.
But the thing atop my wish list this year is a car polisher.
Oh,
You know,
nice, man.
I got a specific orbital car polisher that I'm hoping somebody picks up for me.
So you have this car in real life. When you play a game like Forza, like, do you want that car like
Oh, I have a Challenger.
the same? Like you
Yeah.
you paint the
It's not
colors
the same
and everything?
though, because it's
Yeah,
my
different year.
Challenger isn't like the Challenger of my dreams.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Challenger
okay.
of my dreams is an old Challenger, and it's definitely purple.
What year?
69, 70.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 69 was, I like, all jokes aside, 69 was a pretty good year for muscle cars.
And the Challenger came in what's known as crazy plum purple. That's a little
Mhm.
bright for my liking. And I know
Yeah.
the Challengers that's like the legacy of the Challengers. They came in
Yeah.
like neon purple, orange, green.
Mhm.
I'm talking like that deep purple, like almost black purple.
Nice. Deep
Yeah.
purple. Yeah.
That's like my go-to. I'd like a dark purple Challenger chromed out, which chrome is not very in vogue or fashionable now. Everything's black now. But that's why my Challenger has chrome on it. I was going to wrap my Challenger in real life, and then we had an expense that I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I've even debated just wrapping the one that I have. But yeah, no, I definitely have got a few Challengers in Forza that I swap
Yeah.
around and drive in.
I need to figure out how people do like are they called the liveries, like the designs of them?
Mhm.
Because I want to get a Challenger, but I want to like take like your picture on like Twitter or something and like
And
put
make
it on
it
the hood.
Just
or the
Donnie's
wheels.
Challenger.
Yeah. I just want to put your face on the wheels and you're just going like tumbling around all over the place.
What's funny because I bought my Challenger. Now my Challenger that I own in real life is old. It's 2011.
I mean,
and I was debating. I had 3 or 4 Challengers and a Mustang, and I went with that one not only for the price, but I actually wanted that one more because I really don't like the interior design that they switched to on the newer Challengers. I think in 2014 to now.
Yeah.
They have like this big leather dash.
Yeah.
And it's wrapped in it. And it's very like circular, like oblong.
Mm-hmm.
right? And it kind of reminds me of like those Fisher Price tablets that you give to kids with like the big rubber thing wrapped around it. I
Yep,
kind
that's
of don't
exactly
like it.
what we have.
I really don't. And I showed it to my wife, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't like it either. It's got this weird stereo that
Yeah,
like
why would they
kind of
do
morphs
that?
into the side. I don't know. It's just not, and it's so only my wife could tell you like how much like how truthful I'm being to you when I
Yeah.
say this. The interior of a car, like the dash and the instruments and everything,
Mhm.
they matter to me so much. I'm
They should.
so OCD and anal about
Mhm.
like my everything. Like everything is constantly cleaned and dusted. Like I don't like have scratches on my dash or like my dials, you know, like my
Mhm.
buttons and things like that. I don't want any plastics that are gonna fade or anything like that. It drives me nuts. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I
My
share a vehicle now, so
my last car, we had one, and my wife thought I was like, she's like, "You're gonna lose it." She's like, "You need to chill out," because I'm like, "Stop doing this. You're ruining," you know, like
well, yeah.
I don't think that should really become as a surprise that people have seen like how much I get into like detailing and stuff. You know, it's just it's a
Yeah.
weird thing with me. I really care about what my interior looks like. It means a lot. I actually didn't. Do you remember that Cadillac that I shared
Mhm.
that I was going to take? That
Yeah.
Cadillac Roadster. I
Yep.
actually didn't buy that because of the interior.
Yeah, well, do you imagine, like, yourself cleaning it? Is that part of it? Like, part of it is the look, obviously, like, the
Well,
aesthetic and
that
everything, but
interior was just heavily damaged. There was lots of
oh, okay.
scratches on the dash, like on the radio, on the screen, and
Mhm.
stuff like that. That you can't clean. Like you can't get that off. It's just permanent,
I've
right?
made decisions to not purchase a vehicle because I could imagine myself trying to clean the dash, and it
Yeah,
was gonna be a nightmare.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's just like, mm-mm. Like, just the shape of it and just like, because my very first car was all it was just very simple, just a flat, just like you just, like, take a
yeah,
wipe and
yeah.
just
I
kinda
think
like you're
everything
done.
was. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm, mhm. And yeah, things got a little complicated, and it with, like, the I don't know, like, with the
The
muscle
Cadillac
cars,
people, I think they
should
looked
look
at me like I
away.
was. They looked at me like I was nuts, Sean, because I was like, "Look, I love this car. It's a great car. It's it's a great
Yeah,
buy." I was like, "But the interior is fucked. Like you guys."
yeah.
Like if you
How
swap
would
the
you
radio and like the dash
yeah.
panels, I was like, I'll buy it. And they looked at me like I was
Mhm,
crazy. They're like, this is a used car as is. Like you just, I was like, well, I'm leaving. And I
mhm.
did. I
Well,
was like, cause
good.
I can't buy it like this. It would just drive me nuts. Even when we first test drove it, my wife was like, this is going to drive you crazy.
No doubt. Well, and that's like you have to make your it's an as is vehicle, so you
Of
make your
course.
decision as
Yeah.
is. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
you take it or you leave it. And you literally
Yep.
left it. So whatever. And no regrets. Like you don't miss the like everything else about it, like was
I
obviously
wouldn't have,
got you there.
the only reason I was looking at that because at the time, that was about 3 weeks before I found the Challenger. I
Mhm.
couldn't find a Challenger in my price range.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, it's it's good luck on my good fortune that
Yeah.
I walked away.
Hmm.
But
Well, you found the one that
Forza.
felt right.
I
Yeah.
want to
Oh
talk about
yeah.
Forza
Sure.
because I
Okay.
was gonna bring this up on BSVG.
Is it dead?
I don't think it's maybe the right podcast to even talk about it. So I think
Oh,
we can talk about it here. There is an article up at purexbox.com.
okay.
I believe the article is something like Xbox players are quote bored with Forza 5 already. And there is a hot Reddit thread where all of these players, I won't go as far as saying complaining. I'm sure some people would read it that way, but they're sharing that they're not as into its progression as they wish they would be. And it's interesting. I thought it was an interesting thread, and I almost commented on it. But as I was writing my thoughts, because I read the article and I read their comments, I was trying to retweet it, and I honestly couldn't fit kind of what I was thinking in 140 characters. So I
Mhm.
decided to just leave it. I was like, I'll bring this up on a podcast and talk because I feel like
Totally.
there's something to talk about here, at
Mhm.
least to me, because I have probably played Forza Horizon 5 for maybe 20 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And I do think that I feel like I've almost all but accomplished everything that I wanted to, at least initially. Doesn't mean I'm not
Yeah.
done playing it. I played it yesterday. I'll go in and do something. But all the things that I wanted to do, like I just ran out and did. And I think there's something to this because obviously the game has a battle pass like a seasonal pass. Like
Season
they have a
thing.
pass,
Yeah.
they have challenges and stuff that you can do if you're into that. But if you've already unlocked all the cars and the money, which you
Yeah.
can do like super early,
Yeah.
uh, does that mean anything to you? Like you've already
Mhm.
done it, right? So I guess some of the players were suggesting that they should have made it harder to unlock in advance going forward so people would play it longer. Which
Isn't that sound like Halo?
When I was hearing them talk about it, I honestly feel like there's a part of me that goes, I wouldn't mind if they had done that. But then I'm immediately jogged my memory to Smash Brothers Ultimate. Where I hated that they did that. I hated it personally. I was like, just let me fight people. Yeah. And I don't know if it's different because it's a car game versus a fighter, but like having to unlock every single fighter in that giant roster just like drove me nuts. Yeah. I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm buying this game because of the roster. Just let me fight. So I don't know. Like I'm a little torn on it because I do think that they could have held back, or at least could have unlocked things at a slower pace, made you do a little bit more progression before you could unlock stuff. Because I feel like I unlocked the entire festival in like 5 hours.
The festival itself, yes. Like it seemed like that was sort of it unlocked as willy-nilly and free-flowing as everything else. Like you just go over here and you're like, here's another like.
And I do remember
sign.
The map feeling convoluted with icons, like very early on. I was like,
oh, big time.
I was turning stuff off. It's like maybe if they had stretched that out a little bit more, maybe it would have been a little more, carrot on the end of the stick, I guess.
Well, I wonder, like, there's two things, and one of the areas I don't really connect with very much, and maybe this is where this group is coming from, which is this like, Destiny type, like I want my end game to be playing forever, and there's something to do after the game is done, and that's something that I'm not sure this game is really doing well at all, or even trying to, right? And I think, but the other side, which I do connect with, it's like the main game itself, which I would say is maybe a bit of a criticism of it. Like where I liked, if I remember correctly, like Forza Horizon 3, like you really had to kind of like get at it and then go, oh, you're doing a great job. Here's the spot up north, and you can kind of go do this thing and unlock that whole area. And it was a big deal. It's like, look at this beach. This is amazing over here. But I think I was maybe like 10 hours into this thing, and it's like, here's a race that goes around the perimeter of the whole Mexico. So like it's a little different. But I don't know where I stand on this, because I still have lots to do. Right. So it's just different.
But here's the weird thing is I've got tons of things to do, but I don't know if I'm ever going to do them, because they're typically the things that I normally don't want to do anyway.
Yeah.
Like I don't do the drift zones. I never have. I never got into the drifting, so I just
you need a car. You need the right car for it, really. Like
I mean, I can drift.
Sure.
Like I've got cars that can drift. I know how.
Of course.
I just don't. I just like
if you're driving around, you have to find one.
When I go through those zones, I don't care if I'm on the leaderboard. Right? It's one of those things where I just go through.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
I don't care. But when I'm in the speed trap and I hit the speed trap and it's like Sean was 5 miles faster than you, I stop whatever I'm doing and I turn around. To make sure that
do you change cars? Do you change cars?
If I have to. If I have to. Now, I will tell you another thing that has been bothering me with Forza Horizon 5. I think this might be the one true thing that's really stopping me from like, I'm going to play Forza Horizon 5 tonight for 3 hours. Right. Is I'm continuing to run into issues where I set speed zones or jumps and my things don't get posted on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I've had this happen to me like 10 or 12 times, and I don't know what the hell's happening. But it's like, why am I going to sit here and keep trying?
Totally.
Like it takes all the fun out of it for me. I've never had this happen to me before. I don't think it's a widespread issue. It doesn't seem to be a common issue. Yeah. It's just hit and miss. It's sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't.
I had one, there was like a seasonal challenge at the airport danger sign thing. Like there's that big runway.
Yeah.
And
that was the first one that I realized it.
It kept saying I needed one more yard. And I'm like, what are the chances of that? Like I'm flying like 1,400 feet, like beyond, like I've just got like all the runway I could possibly want. I've got the fastest car I could get and just like launching on this thing. I'm like, there's no way that I'm like not doing this right. So it wouldn't trigger the seasonal thing, and it wouldn't give me that extra star. So there was definitely something happening there.
I can imagine this happens all over the with a car that I just unlocked because I wanted to try it out.
Right.
And I set the record at the time. I set the jumps like 1,200 feet.
Right.
I've done that jump like 1,800 now.
Same.
18,000. And nothing.
Yeah. Same thing.
Like no, but I've had boards reset. Like I've unlocked every board and then I've logged in and a board's reset.
That is so weird.
I've had speed traps reset, and it's like I've had enough of it. It's happened enough that it's like it takes the wind out of my sails.
Yeah,
it's like I'm not going to sit here and keep knocking these off if that's going to keep happening.
And it's an entirely single player experience for you as well. Like Yeah, like, and I think that would be where if there was like any sort of like end game for this thing is like go tune it up. Like, and it's at its own ends. Like, there's so many things that it does for people like us who aren't like gearheads or anything. It's like, click this button. Now you've got like the best possible tuning for this car. And that's awesome. I really, really like that. But for, I don't know, if you were to play like some sort of like competitive version of it, how do you even do that? Like, I guess you just give everybody the same tuning and hope, like, see how everybody drives it to their best ability.
Go stock.
Right. Yeah. I get, but then what are you upgrading towards? Like, what's the, like, it seems like there would be some sort of like loot grab or something.
Because I think those of us that are in, I guess, the Xbox, I don't know what you call it, community echo chamber, like the Xbox.
Well, you're not making
conversations.
You're not making marketing for Xbox. Maybe if we could put a pin in that, I want to talk to you about that. Like, what's with Xbox creators making marketing for Xbox?
Oh, that's been a thing for you for a while, right?
What are you? I saw like on my time there was like 2 in a row, and it's like Starfield is an Xbox and PC exclusive. It's like, you made that? Like, what are you doing?
I think maybe they're like, is it like the idea that you could like be recognized or looked at or
I think so. Hired? I think it is, because I think Xbox does sort of reward that in a way. Like, I think Xbox Core, like they see you, they see that, like, they're, you know, what is that from?
They interact
Mad
with
Max. Yeah. Well, and they bring you up. Yeah. Like, so it's, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Those of us that I think are connected to kind of that Xbox thing, I do think there's been a mass, like a mass exodus on Forza.
Oh, well, I mean, Halo happened. It was bound to,
I
like,
think that's definitely a part of it, but I think another part of it was maybe it's just shorter than normal.
So maybe we're not even talking about the Forza drop off as critically, because I just do, everybody's doing what I just did, was like, well, Halo happened.
Yeah.
So like, what do you want? Like, you don't even really have to have much more of a conversation than that. But like, if Halo hadn't happened, like, would people have dropped off?
Or
I don't know.
Would people be more vocal about, like, some of this, you know, post 10 hours later in the game stuff?
It's curious, because you have a game like Sea of Thieves where people were pretty vocal about that, and then they kind of got their shit together. And if you're into Sea of Thieves, you are super happy. You know, like, there's nothing that they can add to that game that will bring me into it like that. But if you're into it, like, they've been killing it over there.
Right.
So maybe this like lack of noise, so to speak, is like, maybe that could be the detriment to Forza. And this is a dichotomy that we always go into with games and community, and what to cater to in terms of like the mob mentality, and maybe there's no mob mentality here.
For listeners to know, the Reddit thread is on the official Forza Reddit. And it's not like,
so they're seeing it,
whiny people that are angry. I think these are people that played 100 hours of Forza.
Yeah.
Like, these are diehard Forza players.
Totally.
They're letting you know, like, what they want from more Forza. So that's why I think it's even worth.
It's like discussing. The Animal Crossing people.
Yes, like, that's what's worth discussing, because I think that's the thing that has me torn, because I don't necessarily think that I agree with this. Like, you know, like, they don't speak for me, but I understand where they're coming from.
Right.
You know, I'm like, I get it. Like, if I were you,
like, I'm nowhere near that.
Like, you're right. If I were you guys and I was playing this game for 100 hours, like, I would want it to be a bit more chewy and maybe a bit more grindy, and like, don't give me 100 cars in the first hour. Like, make me earn them. Yeah. You know, like, I think the money part of it, I honestly think the money part is the part that you could really focus in on, because it got to the point I have so many credits, it doesn't even matter. Like,
you buy the castle, the $5 million castle.
Not
like
yet.
Like one of your houses.
I could.
Yeah.
I haven't, but I could. I bought 3 houses, but I honestly didn't even look at the other ones.
Yeah, I think it actually, my achievement popped, and I haven't bought that one yet. It's like, buy all the houses. I'm like, I still need that $5 million for that.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go do that then.
Oh, that's a huge reson why I did it. Same thing
I didn't even know that.
Barn and everything. Yeah, definitely.
I did all the barns. I don't.
Yeah. I'm missing 2
for doing all the barns.
You must. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
barns
think so.
And like roads, and
I got an achievement for doing all of the boards. I didn't think I got one for doing all the barns, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure think
there.
I did.
Chat. Yeah.
I mean, we could. But anyway,
lots to do. Like, you're not going to hear me complain that there's nothing to do in there. And even like there's
almost too much to do.
Right. But that's my, like, I can take it one way or another. I could say it like that's the worst thing about it, but also, like, you and I have played the game totally different from each other. Completely. And there's going to be another 5 or 10.
One of my favorite things I love about the game.
Totally.
is that it appeals to so many different people.
That's what we said about Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like everybody had a different journey. It's definitely not a Breath of the Wild, but like it's in that way, I would say it's kind of similar.
Sure.
We all have a different experience. You drive this way, I drive this way, I have this car. Like just total freedom.
It's interesting. I'm not done with it. I'm still playing it because I really like it. I don't like the music as much, which is a downer for me. But on the upside, boy, are the sounds of the engine so much better. I've almost
so good
turned the music off just to hear the cars.
Right?
Like in that regard, they've really nailed it. So really like the game, but I do sympathize with them because, again, I don't want to go as far as saying I'm done with it, but I'm not playing it as much as I thought I was going to be.
There's a lot of these things that happen for me where it's like not even the game's fault. Like if I was on a budget, and which I am, I mean, if I was like really hard pressed, I could play a game like Far Cry 6 the whole year.
Yeah.
If I had like Far Cry 6 and Forza Horizon 5 and like maybe one or two other games, just
if anything,
like I'm good.
I'd like more boards. Like I don't think 250 was enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they hit enough of them. Like I did them way too fast. So I had them all done in a week.
Kind of feel the same about the roads itself, actually, which is weird to say because it's a huge, huge map.
It is.
But I mean, and that's just it. Depends on what you focus on, though, because I still have a lot of boards to do. I've done the roads, and I haven't done like all the showcase events or all the whatever the Horizon event things. And you got to go to a place and
I actually wish not every season, right? Because they change seasons every week.
Yeah.
Right. But if every month, if they reset boards and redid them, that'd be awesome.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I don't if
they
think
reset jumps. They reset jumps every so often and they added new ones or just randomize them. Like I'd be into that too.
Do you think they can still support this game while still shifting people on over to Fable?
Yeah. Because it'll be a team that'll be doing DLC and updates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long until
Fable,
Motorsport,
I think,
do you think?
A while.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Motorsport, I want to say it's probably the year after next. It might be next year, but it's probably the year after next.
Yeah.
But I think Fable will be a bit.
It was such a surprise, even just that they weren't going to launch with Motorsport, first of all. And then
I wasn't surprised at all.
A year in, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. This has been a story I've told that we've done on Empire a bunch, but about a month before Jeff Grubb came on the Xbox Empire and said that Forza Horizon 5 was happening, but a month before that, me and Elaine were talking about the roadmap for Forza, and I said, I think Forza Horizon's coming. And she was like,
I know,
it's got to be Motorsport next. And I was like, I don't think so.
I know.
It was just because...
What was it, though? Was it like the reset on Motorsport that they had
It was when they said that they were redoing all of the engines and tools and everything, and that Horizon was silent. I said, that's what I said on that podcast. I said, they're going to take the engine and everything, the assets they have for Forza Horizon 4. They're going to give us another Horizon because they need a game. They can't wait, 3 years for Starfield. They need a game to put in here. I was like, so I thought it was like a, what do you call it? Like when you cross out deductive reasoning.
Yeah.
It was just that for me. I was crossing out all of the things that could be. And I was like, it's got to be. Like, it's got to be there. And then when Jeff came on and was like, I think it's Horizon. I was like, I love that YouTube, like in that YouTube video, when he says it, I go like this. I'm like, because Elaine knows exactly what I was saying. I was like, I nailed it.
But you thought it was Japan at the time too, and I felt
everybody did,
and not just you, but so there's a reaction. Speaking of like, because I remember like faces that were happening throughout. You made him laugh so much talking about this, and you had said Japan, and he kind of did a thing, and I thought it was a tell that it was Japan. I thought he was deflecting away from not talking about Japan, and of course it turned out to be Mexico, which I think you have to save Japan. By the way. Like I'm wondering, and I don't know off the top of my head, like where else I could go before. Is Japan next? Like we have to be careful about these certain things.
People want Japan so much.
I know they do, but after that, then like that's it. It's sort of like this Smash Ultimate. Like, what do you do after that?
Yeah, I don't know if I even do want them to do that.
No, I like it's just anything, any party country, any party area. Like you go to Mexico, you party in Mexico.
Go back to Australia, do America, like do something else. But people keep saying Japan. They just want to drift. They want Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, the game is what they want.
Yeah. Just do Canada, the Great White North.
I think the more interesting thing is how long till we see another Horizon?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they could sit on this one for a while, and they could do expansion packs.
I agree with you. I think they will, and that's what
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think we'll get another Horizon before Fable come.
No, and they don't need to. Like, I'm really
And
glad
if
this one
Fable's
came as soon as
2 or
4.
3 years away, that
Do you
means the
think it's
next
that
Horizon's
far?
like 5
It
years
probably
away.
is. Yeah.
I think it's 2 years. I think after next year and then the following year, I think will be the time that they want Fable.
Yeah, well, it's getting to the point now where they don't need the sequels to come so quickly afterward. Like, you don't need like the Activision model or
Right.
Ubisoft model here anymore. Like, now they've got all these studios.
Fable's been in the works a while too.
Yeah,
That's what gives me hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been they've at least been doing pre-pro on story and characters and art design and stuff like that. They've been working on it. So
I mean, this is the thing about RPGs that like we don't really talk about too much. Is like we talk about most games just in general, like games are hard, and they take forever and there's delays, and of course the delay will make it better, blah blah blah. But every now and then I play a game that's like gigantic, and I'm like, how did they make this game?
Yep.
And there's so many, especially like with JRPGs. There's just so many of them. Mm-hmm. Like how did they write all that? There's
I always feel that way when I play Ubisoft stuff. It's so funny that people are like, I'm so tired of the Ubisoft thing. I'm like, I don't understand how they keep making these epics like Valhalla.
I know. Yeah.
They're just hundreds of hours of single player story content that people just crush through. It's like
I have so much regret with that one in particular.
Stuff.
I have regret that I didn't finish that one. Didn't even come close.
That game. So good. DLC's good.
Oh,
DLC's excellent, actually.
That's what I hear, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I just bought a year's worth of games in the last 6 days. Not going to get to any of these things.
What a great problem to have.
It is a great problem to have.
Love video games, man.
And I even got so into it that I was just downloading things off Game Pass just cause, or things that I bought before that weren't on my hard drive. Like, I'm just going to load this up, man.
Oh man, I am playing a game that's pretty excellent. Let me give you another one to buy. I got to look it up because I don't remember the name of it. So, I played the first like 3 levels and I sent it to Rebecca because I was like, you're going to love it. It's called Journey of the Broken Circle.
Okay.
I'm playing it on Switch. I picked it up on their Black Friday sale for like 40 cents. No lie. I think it's like $8. It's not on sale anymore, I don't think. It's kind of Journey-esque, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like Journey,
it's gorgeous.
kind of
Look at
means
that.
oxen-free. It's pretty and it's kind of heartwarming and inspirational. Yeah. It's fun. I'm liking it. It's a good game.
Checking my email and there it is. I have a code for this.
Nice. Yeah, play it. It's fun.
Oh, I'm totally redeeming this right now. That's hilarious.
It's not 3D though. I don't want to leave people. It's like Journey and
No, it's very nice. Yeah.
It's 2D game. 2D platformer. It's like Journey.
Redeemed.
It's nice.
Done. That's just it, man. Like
kind of like Gree.
I wish people could experience this where like you get an email and here's, I don't know, 10 games. And they're just names and the cover of it. And it's like, how do you decide?
Hookup. That's nice.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice. It's like there's a massive amount of games that come, and you get the title of it, you get like the cover art and a little like here's what it is. It's just words. The picture is like Journey of the Broken Circle, the title of the game, and then sort of like a sun and some mountains and cloud. It almost looks like there's like a sun that looks like a Pac-Man. But anyways, the blurb says platforming and storytelling literally go hand in hand in this journey full of love and fun, but also questions. Let's roll on a life-changing experience. So like,
that's a great blurb for the game.
Well, that sounds great. I don't know what they could do. This is not me criticizing anything. It's just like this rarely gets me going like, oh, that's the one.
That's
like,
the thing. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that we learn from this, the reason the influencers and podcasters and YouTubers and the reason that they get access, there are so many developers out there that just want people to play their games.
Totally.
And they just can't get eyes on. They can't even, and like I even suffer from it. If people offer me codes and it's like, I can't play your game right now. I'm playing 10 other things. You know, it's hard. It's tough. It's super competitive.
This is one of the first things that really got me into like just from the ground level understanding that.
On the Black Friday sale on the eShop down to like $2, and it was previously like a $40 game. And I even looked at it and I was like, man, they only want $1 for this. And I was like, but it's like an RPG that I was never going to play. And I was like, nah, You know, it's just like if they
Mm.
can get people, to bite for $1, it's like, it's just hard.
I
It's really hard.
know. I know. How do they get us to do anything? I just saw Todd Oxtra. He's this is another notch in my influencer belt. He says he tweeted 33 minutes ago, I blame Sean Capri for making me get this, and it's Tales of Arise. So there you go.
I want to get that one.
Enjoy that one.
I didn't see a good Black Friday deal on that one.
I don't know if there was anything like crazy great.
I'm kind of waiting for that one to come to Game Pass. I bet it'll come to Game Pass.
That's what Ryan is convinced it's going to come to Game Pass.
This is the other Tales came to Game Pass, and Xbox is trying real hard to get Japanese stuff in there. Like that's kind of where I was when I first saw it. I was like, I bet that comes to Game Pass next year.
I jumped into the Iron Lords podcast for a couple minutes earlier today as I was editing We the Gamercast, and they were on the Game Awards just for the RPGs. And I don't want to talk too much about the Game Awards, but it was mostly just the year of RPGs. If you're into RPGs, which I know you're not, this was a crazy good year for RPGs, man. It was pretty decent, but
nice.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I like it. But I've added this one. I almost want to go get my Switch here too. Or just get onto the eShop. Maybe we just spend the next hour just kind of like going through this.
Nintendo I was going to ask you, are we going to fix the Game Awards?
How do we? Yeah, let's fix it. Let's do it.
That's what we talked about this last time when you came over to PSVG. We're possibly talking about how to fix the Game Awards.
How do we fix it, man?
I haven't given a lot of thought, but I did give it some thought that I came to like this. I feel like I'm at a crossroads.
Do you want to just do you want me to bring up the site? Would that be helpful to kind of like guide us through, or do you just want to talk more high level?
I want to talk more philosophically.
Okay.
Because I've come down to like two different paths.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to create a Game Award show that objectively names and showcases the best games has to offer the year, like a critical reception award show?
Yeah.
Or do you want to push like we're bigger than E3, all eyes on us, popularity contest marketing show? Because I feel like you can't do both.
I wonder if you can. And let me just sort of like tackle this, because who the heck was I listening to? It might have been, and people are going to kill me for this, I listened to Colin Moriarty. He's a podcaster, and I still listen to him. It might have been him talking about this, about who like the selection people are. Like that might be at the core of the issue here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Not necessarily the people. I think the people are probably fine people, but this is not their core responsibility. Not even close. Like that they get to be part of the selection, the nominations, the award, selection thing.
And to be honest with you, to be fair, before we get into this, because I've got strong thoughts about this, I really don't even know much about the process. Yeah. I know it's made up of a lot of journalists from a lot of the popular websites. That's basically all I know. As I understand, it's like a Heisman voting. Like everybody gets a ballot, they all submit the ballot, and then what we do is we get like a summation of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So my thing, and kind of, I don't know if it matters so much about like the actual specific granular logistics of it, more than the core of my presentation here is that it's not their job. It's not even close to their job. It has nothing to do with their job. Their reputation doesn't go on the line, nothing like that. They can just they can treat it like absolute garbage. They throw in their vote. They don't care about it. And then they create this whole award ceremony based on people who just don't give a shit.
Like the Heisman
They're just
Awards.
Well, maybe, I don't, okay.
Yeah, no, college football is the exact same way.
So I think that's at the core of it. I think that's the thing. So if you have it should be almost like an honor or a privilege to be appointed. You are, and it's full transparency. Like these are who voted. This is where it comes from. And then there's also, people vote.
Because here was the other thing that I was going to say. I think they should name select councils per category.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of just having a person be like, "What's your game of the year, IGN?" No. I want a cultivated group of RPG enthusiasts to tell me what is the RPG of the year.
Yeah.
I want a cultivated group of sports games enthusiasts to tell me what is the sports game of the year.
You know why this is a good idea? Thanks to us, like go us. Because how do you, when you go to a site like IGN or GameSpot or wherever, and you read a review, how is that reviewer selected? It's exactly how they're selected. Like this person probably likes driving games, so they're gonna do the Forza review. So do that for these, but like selected. I wasn't thinking like individual categories. That's really good, actually.
And I think what you should do is you should get a group of 5, 7, 10 maybe per category.
Yep.
You let them put their heads together, and I do think transparency is important.
I agree.
I want to know who they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like, let me know who they are. I would love, and I even think you could make a media event out of this.
Yes.
Imagine if you created
Well, it's like the Giant Bomb thing.
Well, imagine if you created some content around the deliberations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like show your work. Like, you know, why
Show
did you
your work.
select the group that you did?
Yeah.
Like here, imagine if instead of Jeff Keighley going, here are the nominees for this award this year in a tweet, imagine if it was a video with Ryan McCaffrey and Kat Bailey and a bunch of different folks.
Honestly, that would be awesome.
Here are the games that we selected for this category this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, and they could even say, like, we didn't select this one because of this. We thought these other 5 were better.
Yeah.
I think that would be more inclusive. And I also think, but it doesn't, the issue that I have, or not the issue, the challenge is, how do you select game of the year?
Right.
Because I honestly want to push, and I think this is a deal breaker because I think the whole award show is based on this, but would you ever entertain the idea of scrapping game of the year?
No, I don't think so, but I see where you're going with it.
Like, I would love it if you just kept everything to a category or a platform.
Right.
You could have the Xbox game of the year, the PlayStation game of the year, the Nintendo Switch game of the year, the PC game of the year, the RPG of the year, the adventure game of the year. I almost love that a lot better than you try to make this game of the year like this one, you know, all be all thing. But I feel like that's what people like, and that's what creates the controversy and
definitely
conversation. So I feel like folks I didn't think that would be a popular suggestion.
No, well, and I like, because some years it works and you're like, yeah, everybody gets it, like that's the one.
Right.
But probably most years not so much is I think the kind of conflict there.
And I think if you break it into categories, you like, instead of having the game of the year, you have the games of the year. Here are the 20, 30 best video games of the year, this collective that we've created.
It's so funny because I am not a participation ribbon person or participation trophy kind of guy at all. But for whatever reason, I think like games of the year sounds like a good idea to me. Like, here's the 4 best. Like, that's just it.
Or what if you like even made it more scientific? What if you create all these different councils and then like you just like tallied up those that got the most nominations across the board?
Yeah.
And then that gets elevated to like the upper tier.
Then that creates a bit of a check and balance too. Like, I'm such a math and
that's hard to do across categories.
Exactly. Like, you have to then check, like, is that representative of the full scope and scale?
So then I like the idea, like, so then I take it the opposite way. If you don't want to get rid of the game of the year distinction, then here's what you do. You create the categories, and you have all these separate councils, and then Jeff Keighley picks the game of the year.
But why remove the deliberation for the game of the year?
It didn't even have to be like Jeff Keighley. Like, it's just the award show. Just, you know, it's an anonymous, but don't have nominees and stuff. It's not a voting thing. Literally, the Game Awards selects the game of, this is the Game Awards game of the year.
You know, and that's what he's actively working against, right? Like, he's obviously the face of this thing, and he's really trying to make it look like it's not him doing it, which he's not. Like, but he has to work really hard to go like, there's a process for this, but you don't really get to see the process. You don't really understand it.
But the process isn't weighted either.
Well, right? Yeah.
So like the fan vote counts for like 10% of their inclusion.
Right.
And
well, that's just it.
As that you and I, for those that don't listen to PSVG, I'll give you a little backstory. My theory has been for years, that I do feel like the Game Awards are currently some sort of participation trophy type of event.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is that all the publishers that are typically nominated, they usually always all win something.
Yeah.
Like, basically everybody that presents something wins something. And
was it you?
I just think that's an extreme coincidence. Like, I think and I don't think it's like collusion, or I don't think it's contrived. What I do think is, I think game of the year is untouchable. I think that's whoever they pick, that's the one. But in the categories, I do think they kind of maybe move some stuff around to make sure that all of their partners are highlighted.
You had me on this on PSVG, and I think it was Ryan Turford brought it up on the Xbox Drive, where I think it was the Golden Joystick Awards or something like that. There was like completely like player voted, and Resident Evil won Game of the Year, like on a popularity contest.
Yeah, and I don't like that either.
Which blew. Well, so the point is that none of us in our circle would say that game is anywhere close to deserving, but somewhere out there, there's a trillion people who think that game is amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it's easy. Sometimes it's easy to go into like conspiracy theory kind of stuff, but like maybe it's just as simple as like there's a lot of people who like really like that game, and we just don't know who the hell those people are.
Yeah,
that could be.
I would say the same thing for every sports game. We see it in sales and in concurrent players and stuff. Like I feel like it's a big one. I think one of the biggest issues with the Game Awards is how hugely popular games seem to be so underrepresented.
Mm-hmm.
Like because of the panels and the way that they build their balloting system, it's heavy leaning towards story driven, single player games. I think they have multiplayer categories, like they definitely get inclusion, but every year, like the Game of the Year categories, they all seem to fit certain. There's almost like this is the mold of what Game of the Year is supposed to be, and a lot of the times the candidates all kind of fit that mold.
Yeah. Now I want to remember what the heck those.
And I think that's weird because if you look at some years, man, you see how popular a game like Fortnite or Rocket League or Fall Guys or like a game that takes over, where you look how popular a Madden is or an NBA 2K. Like I don't think the Game Awards as currently constructed would ever consider a sports game for Game of the Year
because of who's voting on it.
But it's like it's impossible.
I
feel like that like there's systematically something wrong then.
It's the selection. It's the council, whatever you want to call it. It's the academy. It's the same reason why people like us start our own podcasts and things.
Correct.
It's why coaches, I listened to the DLC with Coach on. It was perfect. He's like, finally, okay, people are enjoying Forza. Like, it's all right, man. But yeah, it's just an amplification and magnification of like what we get from IGN all the time right now, or the Kind of Funnies of the world, because they're the ones who like cast the votes and they don't play any of these things.
The take you're supposed to have.
Well, and I'm very curious about like the esports end of it, because we often hear every year like this thing keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's got to be a number of factors that are leaning into that. But I often wonder, like, is it the esports stuff that, again, we don't really care about, but is it contributing to this being like focusing on things that we don't really care about? But is it just to get the numbers? Is it just the marketing thing? Just money? Yeah, like
it's money.
It's such a no-brainer. Everybody can see that esports is a giant thing. So I guess like put that in there. But kind of what you're saying is I feel like there's other things that we could be focusing on, but instead you get like player of the year and coach of the year and team of the year and all these other things, which sounds awesome. Actually, like if you're into esports, like it probably should be. It's a really good way to legitimize that gigantic part of video games.
I feel like this is going to be me being a little gatekeeperish. Shouldn't maybe esports have their own awards?
That's where I'm going with this. It's nice that it's there, but like, does it fit? And is the only? I think it doesn't
celebrate esports.
Totally, yeah,
and like cater your event to that audience.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like, would it be? Yeah, is it gatekeeping? Is that the word? Like, is it?
So I would like to see
not have them in there.
I would like to see these panels built for each category. I would like to see have representation from audience, from developer, and from critical opinion.
Yeah.
Right. So you get like some Jeff Grubbs, you get like some developers that can like understand, like the nuance of game design, and then like actually have some at least popular vote, but not like popular vote wins.
I think where it really comes down to it too, though, is there has to be some sort of acknowledgement of the games that come out kind of on the fringes. There's games that come out in June that like people are like, that's locked in their memory. They played it. It wasn't too far ago. It wasn't too recent. It's not like they didn't get a chance to play it. It's not like it came out in January or February, right? But I feel like there has to be some sort of acknowledgement to the games that come out in January that like just people forget, right? And I feel like part of that comes from if you have a specified team, like this is your responsibility. You got to be focused on these types of games instead of just like, what do you think? And you'll come up with a list willy-nilly off the top of your head. Like, of course you're going to forget about a Hitman 3. Totally. And it's the same thing with like when a game has an embargo. If you work for one of those places, they're like, your review better go up at the embargo. Then you have an embargo for the Game Awards. You know that there's going to be a couple of these games that are coming up pretty close, but some sort of guiding person or whoever goes like, you need to be paying attention to these games. They are big this year. They can't go missed. And just to say that you didn't get a chance to play them isn't an excuse, because they have to be represented this year.
I definitely think they need to move the event. I don't know anybody that disagrees with that statement besides like Jeff Keighley. I think everybody that I follow, like people that vote on it, people that argue over it, podcast, like
Mhm.
everybody I've ever talked to is like, why aren't you doing this in January or
Yeah.
February? Like, why are you doing this now? Like,
Mhm.
you just
Mhm.
move it to like the first week of February, and the
Yeah.
cutoff date is you had to release your game before December 31st.
Yeah.
Why
It
doesn't
seems
that
like
happen?
I mean, if it were me, like in charge of it, I'd be nervous to do it because I'm getting the numbers I want in that time zone or in
Yeah,
that
but you
time
don't
in
think that's
December.
not gonna, you don't think that you can move that to whenever?
And that's what I wonder. And I don't.
Do you think the numbers
Maybe.
are directly attributed to that specific time?
I don't know, but this is sort of like this is.
I feel like
I
we
don't
could do
know.
this event in any month and it would draw similar numbers.
Possibly, but that's the risk. And that's when you do something seasonally, you're kind of counting on the seasonality of it to contribute to whatever success you're having. I would say if you're starting to dip, then you might want to look at maybe moving it or changing something a little bit more significant. But like
Now, when
what
you
he's
were
got going,
talking
it
about
works.
what you were just talking about a moment ago, it would be cool going back to the idea of we name the committee, the academy, we put them on record.
Yeah.
We make content of them making deliberations.
Oh, that is such a no-brainer, dude.
You could have that happening throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
You could have it happen quarterly.
And you pay the people to do it, by the way.
Yeah, no, like you come in like, hey, this is the spring. We're on the committee for best sports games. And I want to talk to you about, Super Mega Baseball 3 that just came out this February.
Honestly.
It's awesome. We think
Mhm.
it's gonna be on the list at the end of the year.
Yeah. Like your care threshold is so much more sensitive to that sort of thing. It's sort of like when you go to like, I don't know about you, but I go to nintendolife.com and I'm like, I'm always amazed at like what hits that website. It's like, it's everything. If it's Nintendo, it's on there. It's sort of like you, if it golfs, you play it. Like you want that for all the different categories. Like you need that sensitivity to it. You don't just
how much would
gloss over it.
publishers, developers, and fans eat that up all year long?
Dude, like it's
spoon feed it to us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you could monetize all that too. So if you're Jeff Keighley wondering about like, dollars.
Think about like what I'll just throw them out here because it comes to mind. If you think about like what Danny O'Dwyer does with NoClip.
Yeah.
If you had like a little 3-minute NoClip YouTube video on the RPG of the year so far that hits like the week before E3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Like
man,
that's good stuff.
It could be so much bigger, and that's the thing. It's actually amazing.
Show. Like you get G4 to do something like that. Like you could partner with an outlet and do something like that, even if it didn't speak for it, just to highlight the earlier stuff.
The fact that our show is as long as it is, and there's as many podcasts as there are, there's as much content about video games is proof that you don't need it just in this award show.
Sean, like other the Game Awards monthly podcast.
I'm telling you, man, like that.
The road to the Game Awards. That's the podcast.
This comes up every time, and the idea fades. As the year kind of rolls over and everybody kind of gets a refresh in January and stuff. Like all this kind of goes away. But you're right. Like I would want to do that, and it probably would put me in a better spot by the end of the year to go, okay, I've got my notes. I've got my January notes. I've got my February notes. And at a certain point in the year, I kind of like allow myself to not be super on top of it. And I let go of that for a couple months. And then October, November rolls around. I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm behind. I don't know about this game. I don't know about this game. And
it's not
it just kind of is what it is.
To make it like a full-time job where every member has had to play everything.
Well, that's it.
I think that's the point of condensing down to the categories. If you find 6 people that love RPGs, that play RPGs, that can talk about them, like you've got the best people to weigh in on that category.
Ryan Turford's already volunteering in the chat.
Right, they likely have already played the candidates because this is what they love to do.
Well, and it is that hypersensitivity to the thing. You don't let something just get missed. You don't let whatever.
And we know how much, like even I'll throw IGN out here just because I happen to know this about IGN. They throw sports games reviews to so many freelancers. They're not a part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So when IGN casts their ballot for best sport, like who's...
Yeah, the freelancer doesn't get to cast.
Yeah, like who's getting to say that? Are they just taking their highest reviewed game?
Totally. This is, and I'm not just patting ourselves, like this is the best conversation to be had about the Game Awards. This is the type of critical kind of like just, I don't know, it might even just be brainstorming, but like I like this.
Sure.
I don't want to.
It's because we want it to be awesome.
We want it to be awesome. And we love video games. We want to celebrate whatever it is. We just want that to be
I love
the
the
best.
Marketing. I love the announcements and the pomp. And I'm here for shining a spotlight on developers and publishers for the work that they've done and giving them that marketing rub. I'm here for all of it. Totally. I just want it to be a bit more objective, and I want the award
because it's claiming to be that spot.
Everybody
has their
want
own game awards.
More prestigious.
Yeah.
You know, we won Game of the Year. You know, this was RPG of the Year. You know, like how the fuck did Cyberpunk get nominated? Right? Like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. That is the biggest black eye on it, I would say.
It's real bad.
It really is. Like, there's all these other things.
The credibility of everything.
Totally. And earlier I was like, how does Resident Evil get in there? But apparently there's enough people who really like that game that maybe, who knows? But like Cyberpunk, I'm sorry.
Sports game. There should be a racing game.
It's just, category. I mean, the category is just broken.
Yeah. There should be a racing game category and a sports game category. They're not the same.
I wonder if there's, and I don't know enough about racing games to really talk about this, but are there enough racing games year on year for that to have its own category every single year? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think so. Even if you highlighted an indie racing game, who cares if that was the best racing game of that year? You know, like I definitely think, dude, they make wheels. There are wheels dedicated to it's very expensive wheels dedicated to playing racing games. Like you can't give away a racing game award. Like,
that's true.
You're giving away best
that's
first
the best
new game from a developer award. Like,
I don't hate that one as much as you guys do. It is kind of
when you start hopping through loops to like, you know, split hairs. And then you're like, are there enough racing games? Like,
good point. Well, you can't have both of those kind of arguments in the same chat.
There's like 6 racing games that come out this month.
Yeah. But it's sort of like a, you know, rookie of the year kind of thing. Like I get it. You kind of want to, have like a debut artist kind of thing.
Sure.
But the thing is about with this, that is you can't compare it to like a sports league doing their awards, rookie of the year, or even like the Grammys, like debut artist or anything. Cause it's like, you can tell like that person that's a singer like that, like Mariah Carey, like she didn't make an album before this. Like she's brand new. With a studio, it's like, this guy comes from like the Call of Duty team and this person comes from over here.
I'll take that a step further and I'll raise you a little bit here. I think there should be some ramifications, some stipulations on what qualifies as indie game of the year.
Oh, you're not kidding. That could be a whole other. Yeah.
Kena is a first party published deal with a very high budget.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve to be in the indie game of the year category. That's not fair to the other members that are in the category.
Totally.
Now, it may not win, but that's not the point.
That's not indie.
The point is that it's not indie.
Well, and it's
not the spirit of what the award is meant to be.
It's people who are on the other side of it going like, well, actually, it just means that they're not like published by like a full on blah blah blah.
But then Destiny also qualifies, and it's the spirit of the award is not for that. You can say technically all you want, but the spirit of the award is to highlight true independent developers.
Yeah. And that is like the spirit of
it. Or not just true independent developers, true independent projects.
Right.
Because you can take a big contract and make a game for somebody, right? Like there's nothing against that, but like maybe it shouldn't be considered independent game of the year because you have like a parachute. Yeah. Like, you have a golden parachute. Like, you know, like you're good. The project's been paid for.
Well, then do you call it something? Like, is it indie? Like, does I don't know. It's all semantics now. It's so stupid. Like,
that's where I really like doing the system games.
Right.
Because if you did a PlayStation Game of the Year, that's a perfect place to put Kena.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you did the Xbox Game of the Year, it's a perfect place to put the Gunk or another project that they pulled out, you know, like that gets back to like my Game Pass game.
Game Pass Game of the Year. Dude, nobody else has got that idea. You were first there. I don't care what anybody says. You were first on that. Is such a good idea. Game Pass Game of the Year, man.
My Game Pass Game of the Year is The Medium.
I'd have to really look. There's a lot.
Because it's, again, like the indie game of the year,
pretty good.
The spirit of the award.
What is the spirit of it? Yeah.
The spirit of the award is to highlight a game that you got on Game Pass that you otherwise wouldn't have bought.
I think
so that omits Halo and Forza.
Might be it for me.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like they don't count. Those are Xbox games of the year. But yeah, that's where I like the idea of bringing some of that in. And also, it's not just that I want to divide everything, give everything a label, because I don't. But I also think it's a really clean way to highlight all of your publishers, which you're trying to do by like finagling them into these categories. So like, just do it then. Get it out of the way. Just do it. And that means that you guarantee yourself, here's the spot where we talk about Xbox. Here's the spot we talk about. That makes it a better event to make sure everybody's included. right? You have PC, you've got Gabe comes up, talks about Valheim or some shit. Like, that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have that moment.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this. I think when one of the questions came up on PSVG, it was like, I think it was Josh who had the question. And where I think my mind was as I was talking about it was just thinking about like the list of games that were awarded Game of the Year, RPG Game of the Year, whatever. Like there's a list that will be shared afterwards. Everybody will run through and talk about afterwards on podcasts and whatever. But that's kind of what happens on the show. And this is actually where maybe I come closer where you guys were coming at, which is like, they just sort of like, in some cases, just blurted out. Like the performance of the year went to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, then we're really not celebrating games. Which
no. I want them to come up. I want the speech. Like, let's not run everybody through it. Like, I want to see the voice actor. I want to meet the person. I want to see the publisher. I want to see the developer get his trophy or her trophy, stand there and talk to me about the game. And I actually brought this up last year, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they couldn't do their inductions physically because of COVID. So what they did is they did these like 3-minute vignettes. Where they did like the history of the band and you get to meet them, do a little interview, and answer questions stuff. I would love that for the Game Awards. Our game of the year this year is Sekiro. Meet the team. And you're in the Sekiro studio and here's the developer. And thank you so much for naming us Game of the Year.
Dude, that is such a good point. Like the whole COVID thing has forced everybody to change how they do everything. And the whole come up and get your award and make a speech is so old. It is so old, and you could have like, even if you're just nominated, instead of a speech, you create your own thing that plays on how you want your game represented in that moment. And then you're not like fumbling through a speech or whatever. You're not, I don't know. That sounds way better to me. Sounds way more engaging.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's
longer. It does put a lot on the, and it puts a lot on the developers and
it's a production.
Create something. Yeah, exactly.
It is a production.
Like there's reasons why they don't.
Which is why you give it some time. It's why you do the show in February. You have all January to prepare for it.
Yeah.
And the cutoff is December.
Or you hire somebody like I don't even like Danny O'Dwyer. Like I really dislike him.
Why?
I just think he's a holier than thou kind of a dinkus. I think he's I don't like him. Yeah.
Well,
everybody else
folks
likes
him. We've got folks like that. I like him, but I honestly only like him.
Super talented.
I wouldn't say that I
take that
like
away
him.
from
That's
him.
not true. I like him. My main thing that I'm paying attention to these days is F1.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's thinking about video games.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and he's like
Formula One for me.
Games need that. Like I feel like he might be the only one who's doing it. But video games need that. Like, just wish it was somebody else. But I want more of that. Like, I think his thing that he did for Doom was excellent. It was just so. Rocket League was awesome.
Rocket League was a really good one.
Yeah. So I do wish we had a little bit more of that. And
his style is almost exactly what I'm thinking about. Get 3-4 minute clips from everybody that wins.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
There you go. That's what we do. What do you think about the trophy? What do you think the trophy itself? Do you like the trophy that people get, like the wings and everything? Yeah. Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if it was like more of a, you can't do like, it'd be cooler if it was like gaming related.
I feel like it is polygonal. Like it's polygonal?
Polygonal. I think people like that it's it's very like, it looks like an award, like a trophy.
Yeah.
It's kind of prestigious. Although I always think it'd be cooler if it was like a golden controller or something. But I think people think that's a little too Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, for sure. Yeah.
But it'd be cool, like if like in records, like your game goes gold. What if they gave like gold games like in a plaque or something?
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
That is cool. Why don't they have anything like that? Like this game
golden cartridges.
Yeah, honestly, that would be
if they did like NES cartridges that were like different like metals and stuff. That'd be cool.
I wonder. Well, the Game Awards could do it, but also like, why doesn't like each platform kind of do that for their teams?
Yeah,
but maybe they do. I'm sure there's something that they do, but that would be great to like.
Well, they do is they write a check every time it sells X amount of bonuses. That's the only thing the staff cares about.
I mean, there's always some like
plaque. How about that bonus check?
I know, right? Like, God, went through 2 divorces through the course of this dev, and all I got was this stupid plaque.
I was thinking of the South Park Faith Plus One. What was they go like double. What was the color? The South Park episode?
No.
Where they become a Christian band?
I don't think I've seen that one. That is amazing.
Oh God, that's You're kidding me. That's a classic.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I feel like
It's
I'm
definitely
pretty
a
well
classic.
versed in the South Park.
There's a color. I don't know what it's called though. It's like double myrrh, I think is the color or something like that.
Yarden says, "Oh man, I want to talk to Yarden too. Yarden's making like big changes. By the way, hopefully you're doing okay over there. Not sure if this applies to bigger outlets like IGN. Yarden's making a big move, breaking up like, man, lots of stuff. Bigger outlets like IGN, but a little inside baseball on the voting. Easy Allies only submit one ballot for the whole group. Each member doesn't get a ballot.
That was my expectation. Is that every outlet get, and that was my concern. That's what I was going like with Sports Game, like knowing what I know of some of the. I'll use Easy Allies. Knowing what I know from Easy Allies, like who's doing the Sports Game category in that crew.
Yeah, and you're not surprised at how it turns out.
Right, you're just taking that person's word for it, and like, do they really play the games, or did they play it for like an hour?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right. Well, that's been my soapbox the whole year,
because Coach Mo has been like underrepresented in the Game Awards for years.
Yeah, and there's lots of him.
Loves sports games, and he plays them for hundreds of hours, year long. Yeah, and you're right, there are lots of him. They're like a huge pillar of the gaming business in general. Like just at large. And like you think about them, like they're truly underrepresented by this entire event. And that's not cool.
No, and it's not cool to the players and also the developers who probably aren't appreciated nearly as much as they could be. The fact that they turn those games around year over year, it's an impossible task that they do every single year.
That their servers are, for the most part, working, they're live, that they bring new content. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
And sometimes the games are truly good. I remember, was it 2K16? I think was my game of the year that year. Yeah. Because it was excellent. NBA? Yeah. That year it came out was so damn good. It was I remember 2K16 or 14. I can't remember. It was one of those years. I was like, dude, I was loving that game. Played for 100 hours. I was like, this game is stellar. This is the best game I played this year.
Dude, I still got... And NHL is good this year, too. Like... happens to be pretty decent.
Yep.
I just want old Sean or young Sean, I guess, a long time ago, I would be playing the crap out of that game. Like just a ton of NHL. I mean, of course, Canadian, but
I saw somebody playing and it did look good.
Yeah.
See, my problem is if
so well.
If the Blue Jackets were better, I might play it a little longer.
I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Blue Jackets.
You get in there, you GM mode, you make some trades.
Sounds fun.
A little fantasy. Yeah. Yeah, you know it's fake.
It's not as fun. Yeah, it's not as fun when my team sucks. Like,
yeah,
you know,
maybe that's why I'm liking it.
I ebb and flow with my sports games based on like how my teams are doing.
Yeah,
like, dude, my Cleveland Cavaliers, they drafted Evan Mobley. He's amazing. He's having a great rookie season. Yeah, I bought NBA 2K this by Friday.
Real.
Yeah, and I was like, I would definitely want to buy NBA 2K so I can jam on some folks as Evan Mobley.
I feel like, and it's probably the same for NHL as well. Like, I just can't play them. Like, I just don't understand why it's so hard to play NBA 2K 22. I just want to play it. What about wrestling games? Are they good now? Did the new, I think there's a new one coming out, 22?
There's a couple. There's another WWE game on the way.
Yeah.
But there's also an AEW game that's on the way.
Is there really?
Yeah, and it's going to be
holy
epic.
Shit, that's awesome.
AEW is eating WWE's lunch right now.
And
I mean,
they could go back to that, like, they could go back
right.
to that WrestleMania 2000 style.
I don't
like
think
that type of game.
I think so they hired the former WWE developer that left. Juke is actually doing the AEW game. So they've got 10 years of history. They did say that they are going to a classical, like a more classic version. So be excited. But I think the best thing to be optimistic and hopeful about this is that Kenny Omega is actually like their liaison and working with them on what he wants from the game. He's a huge gamer.
That's awesome.
So like, you know, you have somebody that plays these games, that loves these games, telling them what he wants from the game. And I think it'll be out next year.
Oh, I love it. That's so exciting because like, I feel like I'm just on the front. I've taken on just one too many things to like get back into wrestling in like a big bad way. But like,
you're missing you guys. Now's the time to do it.
And I feel it. I feel
AEW
the pull,
is on fire. They're about to bring in more people. They're about to bring in Kevin Owens. And like they're bringing in everybody, like all the good wrestlers are like, it's becoming the show for all of the good wrestlers to go to.
I mean, it's been how long since NWO was a thing,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
WCW?
They
Is what
just
I'm
brought in
thinking of.
Adam
Yeah,
Cole. They already have
yeah.
Jericho. Like they're bringing in like just the dudes, man.
Oh, I love it. Well, and a good game could do it. A good game could be like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to watch who these guys are, because if I'm just having fun
You should check
playing
out
this game,
some of the clips. There's clips out there of the game, like in pre-pro.
yeah, I
You should check
definitely
out the
will.
clips and see
Oh,
if it's
that's
something you're
so
interested in.
awesome.
Because I got to tell you right
Yeah,
now, me and Delvin, day one buyers AEW video
yeah.
game. Like we are absolutely $60. Take my money. Like we're buying the hell out of that game. It's gonna.
What the
I
heck?
guarantee you, it'll have an open roster editor. You can
Speaking
bring
of
in all of
things
your
that just like
others.
fly over my like not on my radar at all. Like I had no idea. We talk about video game releases all the time. This is where Ryan Turfer jumps in the chat and says like we talked about this literally last week on the show, but I don't remember because my brain is like that. Games radar, AEW game release date, developer, everything you need is probably a placeholder kind of thing.
Or
Oh
it's
snap! It
Yuke.
looks
It's not
good.
Juke. It's Yuke. Yuke
Oh,
is
is
the
it?
developer. Yeah. Yuke. They've basically done the WWE games, the WWE 2K games. They've done those for like the last 10 years. They quit WWE and they went to AEW.
Oh my gosh. It actually looks good.
And you know what? I will give a shout out to WWE 2K. They switched
Sting.
developers. They just showed a trailer. The new WWE game looks good too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's not as exciting because the show isn't that great right now. But
yeah.
like the game looks dope. The
I
graphics presentation look perfect.
I saw there was a call out for codes for that, and I'm like, I just don't think I can get to it in a way that I would really want to.
I didn't see that. Later. I would have put in for it.
Oh, you should. I should.
Put in for
it was like a week ago. It was only like a week ago. Yeah, it's yeah, I'll send you a note. You're playing, what the heck were you? You're just playing something. This is Kakarot. This is Kakarot. No, I see your screen.
I'm telling you, Kakarot on Switch is really nice. Huh. I expected that port to come over like 640p, 20 frames a second. It's not. Like 1080, 30, nice, smooth. Battles hold up, graphics hold up. A little edgy in portable mode, but definitely playable. Like better than playable.
Full circle, man. Like I'll be hanging out with my brothers. Like and my younger brother lives here. We just never hang out, but we'll have our once a year hang. And Dragon Ball would be a great way to. He loves Dragon Ball. Like he's really.
I love Dragon Ball, but like Pokemon, I like old Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
I don't care about Broly and Super.
Same.
It's like I did tell Jack today because he's always kind of been into Dragon Ball, but he's never gotten way in it. I'm like, we need to get the old Dragon Ball movies. I have them on VHS, but I don't have a VHS player. But like,
how old are you talking? What movies?
Like Tree of Might, like Dead Zone and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah. Stuff used to play on Cartoon Network when we were kids.
We didn't have Cartoon Network. What did we have? Ryan Turford in the chat. What did we have in? Yeah, exactly. It was much cartoons. It was something else. It was just we also, if you had like satellite, you could get it. But only like my cousins were out on they have an orchard out in British Columbia. They had like an apple orchard out there, so they had to have satellite. But they had all the best TV, which was great. But like they were so busy picking apples and stuff, working on basically on the farm. They were on YTV. That's not that. It was something else. It was Cartoon Tune something. I don't know. In Canada, I can't remember. We had like we didn't have much tunes. We had much tunes.
Sounds dope.
It wasn't until we finally like figured out that like our VCR was a digital channel changer, because like we had just like the buttons on the TV. That's how many channels you got. If there was 13 buttons on the TV. That's it. Teletoons. Where did you see that?
That sounds like some like.
Oh, there it is.
Some Looney Tunes knockoff.
Yeah, Teletoons. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah, Cartoon Network is very like, that's how DC Comics names their characters. Like this is Batman and this is Superman and this is Wonder Woman. You got a Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
That's it. I always felt like that. Like DC was just kind of old school like that. DBZ was always on YTV. That's true. Including the movies. I never saw the movies though. It wasn't really until like these super movies that came out. The blue hair and everything.
I really like the old ones. They had really great animation and stuff.
There's a lot to love with it, man. There's a lot. Well, now I got to play this Journey of the Broken Circle.
The Tree of Might.
Yeah. We could have like watch-alongs with that kind of stuff.
House Party. I don't think anybody wants to watch Dragon Ball Z. Be me.
I want to watch Dragon. Me, I'll do it.
It'd just be us three.
whatever and you could probably have, if we're there for like 9 nights, you'd have like a theme night for every one of them. And there'd be some people who are like really into it. I'll be there for every single one of them. Like, what are you guys watching? Oh, this looks amazing. Like, I just want to, I don't know. I really enjoy that. Like just getting, especially just a little taste. Just give me a little taste of the thing that you're really into. I think that's super exciting.
Another idea for fixing Game Awards.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to scrap the most anticipated upcoming game.
Yeah.
It's not an award.
That's like a Twitter.
That's
poll.
a fan vote.
That's a
popular fan vote contest. Just
absolutely. Is it not? Is that not what it is
I have
already?
no idea.
That's like a engagement as part of the show. Like that's the only thing that you do.
I wouldn't mind like having like a Twitter poll or something that
Yep.
you throw up on the screen and be like, this is what the fans are excited about next year.
Totally.
Will it win a game award? Tune in and we'll see. You know, like get Kyle Hebert next week on the Game Awards.
Dude. He's crushing it, man. Teletoon. Oh, that's classic. Oh man. Do you have your Christmas tree up?
Yep.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice. Very cool.
So this year, it's very topical because my wife and daughter love making fancy Christmas trees.
Yeah.
With themes.
Yep.
And they're real pretty.
Yeah.
They're
nice.
house decorations.
Wow.
And you do not mix and match the theme.
Okay.
You don't screw with it. It's on theme. You leave it alone.
How do you feel about that?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I've hated it for years.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
So for this year, last year, I was like, I'm tired of this. Last year, I declared I will have my own tree next year.
Good. Yeah. That's how you do it.
I bought my tree. I'll see if I can get a picture of it up because I've got a picture on my Twitter.
This is so good. I love it.
This
is exactly what I would do, by the way.
Last year. Yeah. Because I didn't want to stop them from their fun.
Of course. Yeah.
I just wanted to have my own fun. And I bought a tree last year after Christmas. I got it for $40.
Yep. Smart.
Let's see here.
I don't know why you buy a tree at any other time in the year. Unless
Open
you
image, a new tab.
Really don't have one.
Now let's see if I can see your share.
I'll do my best, audio listeners, to describe what I'm seeing here. What jumps out at me first as this thing pops up? Come on, Melon. Hey, Melon app has been working pretty good for you lately. Look at that. Oh, look at the colors, dude. Oh, dude, it's actually mixing. What I'm seeing, the colors I'm seeing is actually from your TV, isn't it? Like you got the lights behind your TV.
Oh, it's both actually.
Oh,
for this shot, like it really
just
went in nice with both.
Yeah,
I'm trying to zoom in here.
Okay, so this is your tree. You've got the Triforce at the top.
So I put the Triforce on it. It's covered in tinsel, which is a no-no for my wife and daughter.
Is it really?
It really is.
It looks nice. It looks really good.
I have the really big multicolored like Christmas
old
vacation
school.
old lights on it. I got those last year half off. I've got mix and match. I've got PSVG ornaments. I got video game ornaments. I've got homemade ornaments.
Yep. Same.
I haven't got my candy canes yet, but candy canes are going on it. And it's just full of everything mismatched and everything, and I love it.
Our main tree is that is our main tree, and it's not where Chelsea comes from. Like her mom does like exactly what you just described. Like they're like designed tree. Like they have like a blue and white theme. It's
God.
Okay. Our tree is not that. There's some things that have like carried over. So she's got some like nice bulbs that were her dad's, and there's some sentimental things in there. But like for the most part, and the things that we got most excited about was like these Hallmark keepsakes that we've been collecting over the years. We've got like an alien and egg one that we got at like New York Comic Con in 2012. It's like gigantic. Nice. It weighs down the whole tree. We got a Batman Arkham. He's sitting sitting next to one of the
my Pokeball is real heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
thick.
It's everything. It's all the things, which is great. And then we've got a little star, the Mario star on top. Nice. And then the kids will get their own. They'll get their own like very, very small tree.
Yeah, my daughter
they'll get to kind of choose their own thing. It used to be the dogs, which is hilarious because now they don't get anything.
And my daughter does her own tree in her room. And my daughter said that my tree was ew and gross, and that we should be forced to take it down.
You know what though? I like your dedication to these types of things because these are the things that your kids will remember in the future. The things that like drive them crazy. They'll be like, oh yeah, like dad was a little bit different, but they're memorable.
The thing that I wanted that I didn't get. So when I grew up in Ohio, we would make garland out of Buckeyes.
Okay.
I think every Ohio kid grew up with Buckeyes around their Christmas tree. and you can buy them, but they're really expensive for some reason. And I have no access to Buckeyes to make my own.
So I don't think I know what those are. I don't think I know the word that you're saying.
Are you aware of? You're obviously aware of Ohio State, right?
Yes.
Like Buckeyes. Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
A Buckeye is a nut. It grows on a tree, and people will drill holes into them and they'll string them up with like beads and stuff.
That's neat.
And they do like Buckeye garland around the tree. And I made them. God, I had so many. We had so many of them when I was little. It was basically like people make garland like popcorn and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that, but it's closer to home.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, like there are people that sell them on Etsy. They were like $80 for like 10 feet. It's like, this is absurd.
What the heck?
I used to make those in 3rd grade.
What about the outside of your house? Because you do Halloween.
I do.
You do Halloween real good. Do you do Christmas real good?
Nope.
Not so much. Yeah.
Don't care.
I put up our lights for the first time. We've never had lights on the outside of our house here. This is the first year. And I learned a lot. I would love for it to be better next year. I want it to be like nice and straight. I just want them. I like the old school, like big bulbs. I want them all different colors and everything. I don't want just like white and boring, but I still want them. I want it straight. And I did not do it quite right this time. And it's up there. It's up. It is what it is. I just have to live with it. What's that?
We need photos.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Like they're up and the kids are happy with it. And I just have to be okay with this as year one kind of thing. Kind of wish I had year one like 10 years ago, and I'll improve year over year. Probably would have good to have that by now.
Is she usually will like wrap the porch in lights.
Yeah.
But I don't, because I don't care, and I don't. She hates that. That's another thing about me. I'm like, hey, if you want them, go out there and do it.
See, and it is me. This Chelsea's like, never been like get the lights up there. Like she's been more like, are you sure you want to like risk dying? Like that's been her kind of mentality.
That's a real thing.
Very
dangerous.
Getting
up on ladders and stuff. Yeah. It's just a lot of work. I think my Halloween setup takes me a couple weekends to get up.
Oh yeah,
and like a full weekend to get down. And it's just like I don't have the passion for Christmas to do the same.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't want to do it if I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Christmas is very dark here. Like it gets and it's probably like that. Everybody, it's winter, so it's the same for everybody. Days are shorter, but it's really dark, really, really early. It's like 4:00, 4:30. It's like, like pitch, like it's pitch black now. It's 6:20 after 6 right now. It is absolutely pitch black. And so like lights are kind of important, like just from like a lighting, like just seeing things. And it's really sad to come down our block. And like, there's a couple of houses in a row that have the lights up, and then it hits our house, and then we're done. Nobody after that. And it's like, I don't like that. And I never really have.
On Halloween, I'm like the only person in my entire street that puts up lights.
My dad created like these, it was a Canadian cartoon that he made of, and he's got like this, that part is on point, although it's very impressive if you see it, but he has like this gigantic, it was on CBC. It was a cartoon on the Canadian Broadcasting.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah. He made this, it's called The Raccoons. It's very, very cool. They're holding hockey sticks. They've got scarves. It's an amazing, he took it from like a coloring book that we would have had. And then he just draws like squares on them. They're like an inch by an inch kind of grid. And he translates that to like a big big chunk of plywood, and makes for every inch squared, he's got a foot squared. And then he just draws it out, and it kind of, he does a really good job of it. Really cool technique. And so the point of the story is the light that he's got for this thing is gigantic. Like he's got this little box that he puts outside so that you can see it. Because if you just put up a hunk of wood outside in your lawn, you can't see anything. So you got to shine it with this light. Yeah. So I just want it to be bright.
Lighting is important.
Lighting is important.
If you're going to do a display or something.
Yeah.
My entire Halloween thing is because of lighting.
Well, and I always think of you whenever it goes up, because I know you hate the inflatable stuff. Yeah. And I look at Dad, and it's just like he made this thing like it's handcrafted, man.
Have you seen the app-controlled Christmas trees?
I've been looking. So after I put up my lights and was dissatisfied, I went to look like, okay, so what are the best lights that I can get? And everything is Wi-Fi. Everything's like, of course it is. It's all Alexa powered and Google, whatever.
Dude, those Christmas trees are incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Those lights, you can get them. They change, they twinkle, they change. You can change the theme of your tree. They're like $500, but like, I'm like, that's kind of
pretty. I mean, that's kind of affordable. Like that's getting into the realm of
because it's like you buy that tree and that's like your next 20 Christmas trees, and they're all different every year. You just do something different on your phone every year. That's cool.
Well, now everybody's gonna try to be like that house. Like it's almost ridiculous. Like I remember like 20 years ago seeing that one video you download off like LimeWire or whatever. It's just like this outrageous, or eBaum's World or whatever.
eBaum.
Like, oh my gosh, like that house and the music and everything. It's like now it's like super. It probably took people like it was probably like an engineer who did it back then. And now any idiot can just like load up an MP3 and it does everything automatically.
Sure.
I don't know if I want to go quite that far, although I'm sure that this is the first step towards that.
I don't think I've ever wanted to do the projector lights.
No, I don't think they look
that good. Nice. Yeah.
But what you do in your own room is kind of what I like. Like I like that there's so much lighting that it creates its own like ambiance.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have so many lights on your tree and behind your TV that your whole room is soaked in color.
When you see that picture, you see how cool it looks to play
That's
Halo.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know, like Christmas Halo looks dope.
So then you don't need like a projector light. You just like, it's just the light bulbs. Like they're creating the color that you're seeing. It's very cool. Oh man. So I'm actively kind of like, I look at it. I'm glad I've got the lights up, and then I look away because I'm just like, now I'm noticing other people's lights. Like, oh, that guy's got it like perfect.
It does feel like we should, I was telling my wife this. It does feel like we should have solved Christmas lights already.
Oh, big time. Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that like, honestly, putting up Christmas lights is still like get a ladder and a staple gun. It doesn't make any damn sense. Like with all the innovation in the world, like, why is anybody doing this?
I think that for injuries, like when you pull a muscle or something and somebody gives you like an ice bag and you're like, this is like, I can go to a doctor. He's like, yeah, put some ice on. It's like, that's our solution. And it's like, we have
Thanks,
medical.
Doc. I'm glad I paid you $50 to tell me to put some ice on it.
Oh my, I think that all the time right now.
Yeah. No, I think that I was thinking about Christmas lights. I was like, we haven't done this better yet. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should just be able to go out and like, I don't know, like easy button some Christmas lights.
I mean, there's the timers, there's what we just talked about,
but
like
it
the
still requires
and everything.
A significant amount of setup, even the Wi-Fi.
It really does.
You still have to get on a ladder and put the damn lights on them.
I was talking about that at work, how like we're thinking about, like we do a big thing around Christmas.
Like the projector makes sense, but it's like, I feel like the projector should be better.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you should have projectors that make it look like real lights at this point.
Holograms,
because projectors can like it's totally possible, and I'm pretty sure maybe it exists, but
10 years from now, man, 10 years it'll happen.
I would do Christmas lights if it was easier. See, my problem is if I was going to do Christmas lights, I would want to do like Christmas vacation Christmas lights. I'd want them on the roof. I'd want them on all the gutters, like, and because I'm not going to do that, then I'd rather not do anything.
And now that's been my attitude basically up until this year. And now that I've got it done, I look like there's two houses down and they've got them on both. Like they've got 2-story houses. So that first, like the garage kind of part, and then the top story, they got all the way up there. I'm like, that looks way better. Like, how do I get up there?
Yes.
Like that looks really hard, man. Like,
see? So my wife is like, just do the banisters. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like
you don't want to limp over the start line. You don't want to like, you want to do it.
I'm
I get it.
Kind of guy.
And I'm a iterative kind of guy.
We're going to do it, damn it.
I just have to be, and I want it better. And I just have to know it about myself. Like I'm taking notes. This will be part of my debrief. I'm going to have to check my notes next year when I fire this up again. Cause I sure as hell don't want to make I don't want to make it look the same next year.
Yeah.
I'm not signing up for that. If I'm going to do it again, if I'm going to do anything 2 years in a row, it better be better the next year is kind of my attitude with everything, podcasting or whatever, parenting. Like if I'm going to be at something for years in a row, it damn well better be better next time.
Well, you say that because, and I'm pretty sure I was just speaking on a frustration, but this year was the first year that I thought, next year maybe I don't do my Halloween stuff.
Oh, Donnie, what?
We didn't have that many trick-or-treaters come by this year. It was really small.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like it took me so long to put it all up, and I was like, man, I've done it for several years in a row. And we've gotten more and more each year. And then last year, it was a huge drop off, of course.
Yeah.
And this year, it was like almost less than last year.
Is your neighborhood aging? Is that?
I don't know. We don't have a lot of kids in the neighborhood to begin with.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of adopted, like, if we build it, they'll come type of thing.
Right.
But folks aren't coming.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, that's a lot of work. I'm out here for multiple weekends, like trying to set all this up. Like
I've always felt like you did it for yourself. I felt like you did it more for you.
I really do. And that's the thing. I'm pretty sure I'm just speaking out of frustration. And like, once it comes back around, I'll get in the spirit again. I do it for me.
Yeah.
I like seeing it. And I like that it's there, and I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I like that people think of it. Like when people know me around the neighborhood as the Halloween guy.
Yeah.
You know, so like I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But man, it's just a lot of work. And it was enough. All right, so I'll take it a step further. As we always, I feel like our podcast, we always kind of step into like existential dread.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, when my kids move, I don't know if I'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because like I get them to help me. So like without their help, I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because it'll be more
that's where I'm
work
at right now. The kids don't do anything. I'm gonna come into that in a couple of years where
my
I
daughter
can have
does
like
all of
helping hand.
the lights on the rails, which I hate doing. So she does that every year. That's her thing.
You're in this mode of trying to simplify, and I want to enable that, because I think that's a path to happiness for you. Like removing things that you just have to do, because I think that can pile up over time, and it's whether it's a bunch of podcasts throughout the week or
podcasts have been great.
Halloween. Like
I can't tell you just the sigh of relief.
Yeah, I get it.
When I'm just playing games because I want to.
I get it, man.
And I'm only playing something because I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not rushing to the next thing because I don't want to right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm just not playing anything because I want to. That's such I'm just such an like I've really enjoyed it this fall.
Yeah.
Especially this fall because it's been so busy.
Oh yeah.
I played Far Cry 6 for like 6 weeks.
That's pretty good. Yeah, like that never happens. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I beat Far Cry 5 in like 10 days.
I think that I've made sort of like a half step towards that, in that like I don't really feel like I'm not playing something that I would want to play because something like I feel like I'm playing what I want to pretty much all the time. Like I don't know exactly what the difference is, because I always, whether I'd be podcasting or not, if a new game came out that I was excited for, I'd want to jump to that. I just happen to have like access to it. I'm just being really, I think maybe a year ago or maybe even 2 years ago, I was taking things on. I would feel obligated to play certain games because maybe I got them or to do the coverage. And I don't know that I'm quite there, but I do feel like and I don't think this is a podcasting, it's just time, because there's honestly, too many. I still feel like I'm missing games.
For me, I think it's a big Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
I think when you look at it from an Xbox thing, a lot of the things that are coming out are things I want to play.
Right. So
had I still been doing a Nintendo Shack, I would have done the same thing you did. I would have bought and played WarioWare. I would have tried to play Monster Hunter. I would have been there for all those releases. Man, I mean,
dude, and there's a bunch of games.
And you've got Arceus on the way up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not playing that game at all.
You're not playing it at all.
The game looks bad. I'm just here to tell, like, I've been thinking this. I thought this the entire time. Like, the game just doesn't, to me, I don't think that game looks good.
I don't think you're alone in that thought.
Oh man, this looks like a good game. Like, nope.
Yeah.
Like, when I see that game and it's being played, I'm like, major red flags.
And you're usually, you have a good sort of radar for that sort of thing. I think you do. I feel
like I miss way more than I get so excited for games.
No, the other side of it. I think you're pretty good at like, check yourself on this one, but it's just not a fun, like, it's not a fun tale to tell. Like nobody wants to get on the internet and go like, hold your excitement for this one because I'm seeing this, this, and this, and think you should be concerned. Like it's not the best. Nobody wants to hear that.
That I ever did was Andromeda.
Yeah.
When Andromeda came out, I was like, guys, this game looks bad.
Well, and you act on that instinct. Because they're in Edmonton, they did a thing maybe a week or two before the game came out, and it was open to everybody. You just had to know about it. And they did like a presentation here, like the planetarium. They had us all in the theater there, and they told us about the game, and it felt very insiderish, but like anybody could go. The planetarium, of course. I almost said it like that. Anyway. I
knew where you were going.
They gave us a little like demo. They're like, here's the game. And I remember watching, going like they was just like, they were just playing it. It wasn't a trailer or anything. They're just playing. I'm like, I can't put my finger on it, but I don't think this looks very good. But like, this is Mass Effect. There's no way it's not good. And I remember having that. I acknowledged it didn't really look all that great. And I just ignored it. I completely ignored it because it was Mass Effect. And how could it not be
you're in the bubble.
The best thing ever? Of course.
Yeah.
And you do a good job, I think, of staying out of that. And at least like that instinct, that like little spark, you go, oh, there's something there. Like you don't let it just like go by. And I totally did. And I feel like that is
the reason it's so memorable, because at the time I remember we almost took bets. At the time I was like, everybody was super excited, right? Same for good
absolutely
reason, right? These are people's favorite game of all time
on the next generation of consoles.
And I remember it was being shown. It was shown with Horizon, and I was like, dude, Horizon looks way better than Andromeda does. People were
Mhm.
like, "What, are you crazy?" And I remember because the famous thing I said, I was like, "I bet you Horizon like sells better than Mass Effect,"
Yeah,
and that was like blasphemous.
it really
It was a
is.
multi-platform release versus exclusive. Like
Mhm.
there are all these reasons. I'm like,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
I'm just telling you, this doesn't look
Biggest
great.
franchise, like, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it may not even have
Versus new
outsold it,
IP.
but I think the
Oh, I'm
story
sure
that
it
came out
did.
later was on that one I was right. I'm not always right, but on that one I was.
And that's a big one. Like, that's a big one.
And I was right on Mario Golf. For those that,
Mhm.
like people be like, Mario Golf let me down. If you'd listened to Nintendo Shack, I was telling you for a month ahead of time that it didn't look good.
Yeah, you just
I was
watching.
buying it anyway. But
Yeah.
it did. I was like, doesn't look great.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's missing this, it's missing that. They haven't said. There was one episode, I think it was the E3 stream, where I was on the Japanese website trying to translate it, trying to get details.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, they're not mentioning anything of this. There's no online play. Like, oh God, guys.
And now they're done with it. They did
Yeah.
their last free update. That's it. Like,
They'll do a paid update maybe.
what if it was paid to add the things you want, would you pay for it?
No, because I think the gameplay is not what I want.
Yeah.
It's not a
It's not
content
even
issue.
modes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the way this game is played issue. It's
Yeah.
like a design issue. It's the
Mm.
controls, it's how you play it. It's just not. It's fine. I don't mean
Yeah.
to crush it. It's fine.
No, I'm with you. No,
It's
I'm
just
with you.
not the competitive game. And it's not even like a multiplayer.
Should have been a
competitive
moment
thing.
for our community. Like,
Oh
that's
my
really
God.
it. It really should have been this thing that, like, and Nintendo is so good at it usually. I don't
Mario
think
Golf World Tour blows that game out of the water.
have they had a moment like that this year. I don't think they have. Like, where just everybody's playing the thing. Metroid maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Metroid maybe everybody
We all
kind
played
of,
Metroid.
yeah, they had a moment. It just wasn't together.
Definitely. And I mean, they said it sold, right? It was like the highest selling Metroid game or whatever.
I just saw a thing on.
I haven't seen total numbers on it yet, but
It's sort of unrelated, but only related by sales. Mario Kart 8 returns to the #1 spot over Black Friday weekend as Nintendo Switch rules Black Friday in the UK. From GamesIndustry.biz, Farming Simulator 22 debuts at number 13.
I think only the Series S and Switches are available in the UK.
Yeah.
There's nothing else available over there.
What do you want to? Maybe this is one of the last things that we tackle here. What do you think about this? And maybe I read into it differently. When people talk about the Xbox Series S, and there are rumors going around that it was
Well, it's not
the
rumors.
number one.
You saw those headlines, yeah.
That it was the #1 thing console on Black Friday, and people will take their shots at it, going like, only because it's available.
No,
And it's
I
like-
did that first too. I was one of those.
Well, it's true. It's an objective fact
Yeah,
that it probably sold more because there was more available. But
I
like,
wasn't surprised by the headline. When I saw the
Yeah.
headline, my immediate reaction was, yeah, that makes sense. It's available and it's cheap.
yeah,
Yeah.
and good. Like,
Of course, yeah.
Like,
And
that's the
good. I
thing.
have one. And good,
Right.
yes.
there's lots of things that are available that didn't sell.
Well, not
more.
in consoles. That's the issue. Right?
Sure,
Is that
sure,
the
but
consoles that are in higher demand are not available.
right. It's I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's also like, who made it available? Like, Xbox made them available. I feel like they say it as a shot against Xbox. Like, it's only #1 because it was available. It's like, well, then why didn't PlayStation make more?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Well,
then it's
I think that the suggestion is that it's available because people didn't want to buy it. Right? It's been available. It's not that it was available this week, it's that it's been readily available for a month. I mean, Series
Right.
S's have been around for a while.
because they're making
the thing that I was
just don't get
surprised by-
the shot side of
the
it.
thing that I was surprised by to be the optimist, the Xbox optimist, was when I first saw the first headline 2 days ago, it was
Yeah.
like it was the most sold console. And I was like, yeah, that's not surprising at all. Then I saw, no, it was the most sought after electronics on Black Friday.
Yeah,
That was different.
that is
I
different.
was
That
like,
and that's
whoa,
really
that's
different.
a whole different headline. Like
Mhm.
that's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Somebody posted in our Discord about it, and I want to make sure they give it. It was probably TPR. Usually they're on top of that type of stuff. I should have to.
I just think
scroll that
it's
far.
so. Let's kind of. I want to.
It was Rude Days '93. So it was not just
Rude
the
Days.
top selling console. An important distinction is it's among the top selling items thus far for Black Friday period. That's
Yeah.
a whole different story. 'Cause
Right.
now you're talking phones, iPads, laptops. Like it's a whole different thing. Like that's a
Right.
big deal.
A lot of things are available.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's a big deal.
And even if they like, I'm just trying to think of how you sort of equate it, because once you have that is totally when you have that inequality, people discount it to a degree that I don't think is fair or even like considerate at all. I think that the fact that you have Game Pass, and even if you have like the same number of consoles available, and if they matched, like then that's a big deal, right? Like if you had the same number, if you had 100,000 of Xbox One or Series S's available, and you have 100,000 PlayStation 5s, and then they match, they sell the exact same amount. Like, isn't that a huge deal for Xbox, for
It
the
is.
system that shouldn't sell?
I would like to know
or
what the
match them?
totals are, because I did finally see GamesIndustry.biz had an article last week with financial projections from somebody in Japan.
Right.
And the projected is that Xbox has sold, I think, like 6.5 million consoles of the series models, the combined
Yeah.
X and S.
Yeah.
PlayStation's like 12.
Yeah.
So like they're being outsold 2-1 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to know, what are the numbers?
Yeah.
Like, did they move 100,000 units? Is it 300,000 units? Is it 50,000 units? It would be nice to put the headline in perspective and context.
Totally. And that's it with everything. That's all I ever really talk about, is just like, I just want to see the whole picture.
Yeah, give us some
Like, what really
context.
is
Like
it.
that's the thing, is we get these headlines, but we don't get the analytics. Like, tell me
That's what I'm
what
after.
leads to this.
Mhm.
And you can get it, but you know, they sell that. You gotta,
Well, and I think
you
it's
need
just part of the
Benji
strategy.
to give you, you know, like what he gets in his reports.
And that's why I think it's so interesting. And I think like you have to have an incredible foresight to go, how are we going to get back market share? Then you have to have a
this
really
is
compelling
smart by Xbox
option. Totally. So
we
then,
have,
like, go
I mean,
after
here's the thing: we have the Series S.
it.
My
Mhm.
son's playing Series S. Like, Forza on Series S is like awesome.
It's really good.
It's really awesome. I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, as
I stream from it every weekend, man.
as somebody who pores over graphical details,
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching Jack play Forza and Halo Infinite. There are seriously periods of time that goes by, I can't even tell that it's different. Like, I completely forget that it's not whatever it's supposed to be. I'm like watching, I'm like, this looks great.
Crazy.
It looks so good. He's playing
man.
Forza Horizon 5 at 1440p, right?
Yeah.
30
Most people
frames
don't
a
have
second. It's rock
Totally.
solid quality mode.
Yeah.
Like, Forza Horizon
Highly
5's
recommend.
30 frames per second is incredible.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder at what point they have a larger hard drive in that thing. At what point can they just like swap it out
they
for the next
released
model?
they released
Yeah, they have the new
expansion card. I don't
expansions.
think they need to. What I think is, at what point do they put a disk drive in it?
Oh, I don't think. Really?
Yeah.
I know you're talking to Grouchy.
It's so
about-
cheap.
Yeah.
Think about how it's so cheap to put a disk drive in something. They pay, you know, a handful of dollars for a disk drive.
Yeah.
So instead of cutting the price, you just offer a disk drive option
Yeah.
as an upgrade,
I'd
and
see
maybe more
space.
more
Yeah.
space. Maybe they
Well,
go
and
a
that's
terabyte and a disk drive.
Because that's what they eventually did with the VCR to the 1S. Like, you got the 1 terabyte and you were on 500 gigs before that, and it was the same price.
I guess my only
You're
issue
like-
is, I guess, if maybe there's no room to put a disk drive in it, but I think there is.
It's pretty small. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
but it's pretty. It's not like compact either, though.
yeah,
Like, there's a room in there.
they just have a whole fan.
There's
in
a
there.
room in the box.
I don't need a disk drive. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, this is so funny. I literally did not buy a game that I've been really waiting for it to go on sale. I didn't buy Hot Wheels Unleashed because it was only on sale as a physical version. And I avoided buying it because I didn't want a disc for it.
I didn't buy NBA 2K at a much cheaper price because my son is super into basketball.
Yeah.
Because he has the S, I have to buy games that he wants digitally.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'm a little.
Yeah, that's where that's coming from.
That's where it's coming from. But
Mhm.
I think there's actually something there. I don't think I'm the only one.
Maybe
I think
not.
for
Maybe,
some, I think
I
for
see
some
an add-on.
people, I think for some people, I wouldn't mind an external. Like,
yeah,
plug
like
in,
the
it'd be
like the
great.
HD DVD one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think for some people, the lack of a disk drive option is an immediate no-go.
Mhm.
And I think taking that out for people would be great.
Yeah.
Because Grouchy was saying, like, hey, I want to trade in my Xbox One X
Yeah.
for a Series S.
Yeah. I think.
And
he's got
my
a lot of
response to
discs.
him was, unless you have to have that disk drive,
Mhm.
I suggest you do so. But the problem
Yeah.
is that the disk drive is for so much more than games. Like, if you are a
Right.
person,
Yeah.
if your console sits in your living room
Yeah.
and it's your movie player,
Your 4K. Yeah.
you know, like it's a bigger deal.
Mhm.
So I understand, like, honestly, because it's so cheap, it's more like that. It's like, it's so cheap, like if you could add it on as an add-on or as an upgrade or something, like it doesn't cost them much to do so.
I could really see us getting another Series S just for the TV upstairs, just where the kids are. There'll be a Switch, and
Jack loves his. He's been playing Halo constantly. The kid
and especially for kids,
so at home.
Especially for like my kids are going to be like coming up on the age where an Xbox is a little bit more appropriate for them in a couple of years here. So yeah, like I don't give them full price anything.
I anticipate
like hand-me-downs and everything like that.
I anticipate that they're factoring in pushing people digitally into the cost of the Series S.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Right. So they're looking at it that way. They're probably, I don't think they're taking a loss on it, but they're probably looking, if they ever cut it to like $250 or even $199 in future years, that's probably a big part of their cost evaluation. Is they're saying for every one of these sold, we make 15% per user for the next 5 years because we're pushing them digitally. They're not getting used games. They're not getting secondhand stuff. They have to come through our store. It's like a Steam model. Like you have to go this way. And if you're going to get a Series S, like chances are, I bet the conversion rate to Game Pass on something like that, because it's digital, is strong. So that's got to be factored into like into the reason why it is. The reason why there isn't a disc is because they want to push you that way. They want you to be digital.
There's no doubt. Yeah. Absolutely. Donnie, I don't know if I ended it like this last time, but I'm going to go to the washroom.
No, that's good. I got to go myself. I was looking at the time.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, my bad.
But, no, it's fine. It's fine. My wife has already gotten started doing her thing, but it's fun times. Yeah. Sweet hangs.
It's sweet hangs. There you go. I can't wait to talk to you. Of course, the only time that we talk to each other is during this show. We don't ever speak in between.
Right. Don't you dare talk to me.
But we'll be catching up on our hauls next time, man. We'll be talking post Christmas, getting on into the new year.
Good stuff.
Next time we do this. So there you go.
Cool.
Play the music.